I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. What's good? What's good? Danny Landis, I see you. Danny Landis is in the building. What's good? What's good, Blorange family? Everybody out there worldwide watching the show. What's good? What's good? Salute to everybody coming through the door. Raphael, what's good? T. Will, yeah, what's good? Frederick is in the building. Cuts, Kicks, and Knicks, what's good? Happy Friday, my guys. Happy Friday. What's good? It's good to be with y'all. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. Robert Paul's in the building. South BK's in the building. South Brooklyn, what's good? Good morning. What's good? What is good? What's good? Trinity in Harlem. What's good? Luke Skywalker Visions is in the building. What's good? How y'all feel about the Knicks, man? How y'all feel about these Knicks, man? Hey, Chris the Youngin is back. What's good? Good to see you. How y'all feel about these Knicks, man? Emmanuel quickly with COVID. Or is that not a shocker? You're like, come on, bro. Quickly, come on. Come on, man. This is supposed to be your... Year 1 to year 2 is important, but year 2 to year 3 is more important. But that year 1 to year 2, come on, bro. Raphael is in the building. Raphael be grinding more than me. What's good, Raphael? Raphael says it's all good. All of it. All of it's good. Delano Steele Jr., the original DSJ, is in the building. What's good? What's poppin', baby? Salute. D's Ballin' is back in the building. What's good? What's good? Man, I'm excited to talk this Knicks stuff, man. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I came straight in the door and crashed, bro. I was like, I jump up, Miss Mocha like, hey, fool, ain't you supposed to be somewhere? And I'm like, where am I supposed to be at? Miss Mocha's like, hey, fool, ain't you supposed to be somewhere? Ain't you supposed to be doing something? I'm like, yo, I forgot, man. I'm sorry. I dozed off, man. I'm sorry. Sleeping is no bueno, man. Sleeping is no bueno, man. Sleep is for lazy bums. Sleeping is for lazy bums. I have stuff to do. What am I doing? Trying to get some sleep. I'm a slacker. I dozed off for I think I slept for 50 whole minutes. Back to back. Non-stop. What in the world's going on? What in the world's going on? Exactly, cuz kicks and dicks. While you sleeping, other people working. You know what I mean? Yeah, but man, so it's a slow news day, but not really. Today is July 9th. The NBA draft is in 20 days, and we should be prepared. Yasin Bayan, what's good? What's good? Man, I'm excited to have y'all in the building with me, rocking this mothership, this brothership, you know what I mean? Gang it hard. Hey, you know what? I'm with you. Hey, listen. Y'all already, if y'all heard me for the last forever, I've been reiterating the same thing. The Knicks need a center with some of these, right? Because you saw last night against a Bucks team that I don't know where they rank in the regular season in terms of team defense. I guess I can search for it. I guess I can look. I guess I can search instead of speculating. How about you do that, Uncle Freezy? How about you do that? How about instead of speculating, you search? And team offense, the Bucks were number one, right? And team defense, the Bucks were 22nd. That's surprising. That's surprising. You would think the Bucks would be better than that, right? I would think the Bucks defense would be better than that. Let me look at and points per game, the Bucks were 22nd, right? But let me look at I want to look at defensive efficiency. Right? That's a good defensive efficiency. Or let's look at field goal percentage made. I like the field goal percentage made. I like that better. Okay, now this is better. The Bucks were 5th in field goal percentage. I'm gonna blow this up and I'm gonna show y'all something because it's doing me proud. I'm gonna share something with y'all. Can y'all see that? So the Milwaukee Bucks were 5th in field goal percentage against, right? Y'all see who number one is. I don't even, y'all see who number one is. Do we even have to go there? Y'all seen who number one is, right? So you would expect the Milwaukee Bucks to put up a better fight defensively against the Phoenix Suns. And y'all, and for the record, y'all see it. This is opponents' stats, all NBA. So all opponents shot 45.6% against the Milwaukee Bucks. All opponents. These are all opponents' stats. Right? This is all opponents. If you had any doubt to the validity of this stat, look at how the stat is described. All stats, opponent stats, and then it lists the team. And while I'm here, you of course, I'm gonna shout out my Knicks, man. While I'm here, I'm gonna shout out my Knicks. The Knicks allowed 44% shooting from the field. Is that not amazing? Don't get it twisted. Thibodeau did something, right? And I know y'all are like, okay, one thing at a time, man. One thing at a time. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Bucks or are you talking about the Knicks? Well, for one, it's a Knicks channel, so I'm going to talk about the Knicks. But I'm talking about the Bucks. But while I'm talking about the Bucks, I'm going to talk about the Knicks too. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all know how this works. Y'all get it. Y'all know how this works. You know what I mean? Y'all know how this works. So my point is, the point I was getting at is a top 5 defense in the NBA during the regular season. A top 5 defense is getting manipulated by a team with a center. Y'all knew I was going there. Y'all knew I was going there. Y'all knew I was going there. If your team has a center, they are too hard to stop. AC is in the building. What's good? What's good? Man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Turn on the notification bell, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The dark one, to make sure you get all notifications, so anytime the channel go live, y'all could be here to rock with us. Right? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is a center improves your offense just by being a threat. Just by definition alone, the center of your offense, the center of your defense, basically says that position is important. Right? You see it here, right on the screen. Here it is. It's right here with you. It's here, right here. ESPN is the resource. You see it. The Milwaukee Bucks have a top 5 defense, and they cannot stop the Phoenix Suns offense. Right? You see it. There it is right there in front of you. Right? I'm not using conjecture or a whole bunch of other stuff. Bro, it's right there in front of you. Right? It's right there in front of you. Right? What I'm getting at is this. What I'm getting at is this. Y'all favorite offense, not my favorite. My favorite offense is the screen continuity offense. Right? And it has elements of y'all favorite offense, the pick and roll in it. Right? Every time I talk to a Knicks fan, they say, oh, the pick and roll, the pick and roll. Right? When I was a kid, when coach used to say pick and roll, and Jim in PE, Mr. Smith used to be trying to teach us the pick and roll, right? And like the girls would come up and they'll stand there trying to set a pick, and some goofy kid would try to dribble around the girl, but he was so awkward around girls that he kicked the ball down to the other, and we laughed like, "You're a goon, you're a goon." You're a goon, bro. You can't dribble. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. He'd be trying to, and every time he say pick and roll, all the nerds would be laughing. The nerds would be like, boogers. He talking about boogers, pick and roll. He talking about boogers. I don't know why that came to my mind just now. It just brought back. The 70s were crazy, bro. The 70s were crazy. But anyway. Staffa Don was good. Wayne Peterson is in the building. What's good? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell, the dog one, man, all notifications. The pick and roll offense. Y'all love it. But in order to have a successful pick and roll offense, you have to have certain elements. 4 elements for sure. 4 for sure you got to have in the pick and roll offense in order for it to be successful, or unless one portion of it has to be super elite. All right, so in order to have a successful pick and roll offense, you have to have a hard and steady screener. A hard and steady screener that can roll to the basket unimpeded and be a threat to finish at the basket. You gotta have it. You got to have it. Ain't no, well, you could just get anybody to set a screen for a good point guard. No, that's not how this works. IQJ is in the building. What's good? Adele Chapman is in the building. What's good? Adele Chapman, I see you. Adele Chapman is in the building. What's good? What's good? Yo, this phone never stops, yo. Legit, the phone never stops. It never, ever stops. Andy Garcia's in the building. What's good? It's me. It's in the building. What's good? I'm reading the chat. All right, so let me get to the pick and roll point. You have to have a screener that sets hard screens. You have to be a threat in the screen game, right? When an opponent sees that screen, he should be concerned that he's going to be a bug on the windshield, right? The defender has to be concerned that he's going to be the bug on the windshield, right? And that truck that's setting the screen has to be able to make it to the basket unimpeded. He can't be weebly wobbly through traffic trying to get to the rim. He got to steamroll to the basket. Anybody in his way got to be punished. Got to be punished. They can't play in the road. They can't play in the road, right? And then that big guy that you have that sets the screen hard and is a runaway truck down the lane has to be able to catch. Has to be able to catch a basketball. DeAndre Ayton can catch a basketball. He might be the best basketball catcher at his size in the NBA. I Karl Anthony Towns. I'll give it to Cat. Karl Anthony Towns is probably better. Right? Be civilized. What's good? So not only do you have to have a brick wall that's a freight train down the lane, he also has to have Jason Witten hands. He has to have Mark Bavaro hands. And then once he catches the ball, he has to finish like Sean Kemp. He has to be able to finish at the rim. He has to be able to finish at the rim, right? Now, the second element, Rome Far Rock was good. The second element of this pick and roll thing, man. Hey, listen, and when y'all come in the door, man, y'all make sure y'all get in this conversation. Y'all keep this chat bumping, because I'm about to throw the link in the chat in a few minutes, and it's gonna get testy in here. I feel testy. I feel like I feel greasy this morning. I'm gonna throw this link in the chat, and I feel greasy. I feel like tested some guests. If you feel like jumping on and being tested in front of the whole Knicks Nation and NBA universe, come on. The second thing you have to have, and the most important thing, in my opinion, is a pick and roll handler. Doesn't have to be a point guard. A pick and roll handler that's able to make decisions. First thing he has to do is be able to dribble a basketball efficiently. I don't want to see Nerlens Noel running the screen, a pick and roll with Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, no. I don't want to see Reggie Bullock trying to run the pick and roll with Obi Toppin. No. Enough now. Right? The second thing you have to have is a decent ball handler to come around that screen, that pick, right? Right? Yo, AC, thank you for the Cashapp, bro. Hey, let me do something real quick. I want to show y'all something. So Y'all financial contributions goes towards stuff like this. Or maybe if I didn't have it upside down. Y'all see what this is? Y'all see what that is? Y'all see what that is? If y'all think this is fire, throw some fire emojis in the chat. Get that energy up. If y'all think this is fire, throw some fire emojis in the chat. If y'all think this is fire, throw some fire emojis in the chat. This right here is going out to the Blorangetears Debate League champion. This is going to be somebody in the Blorangetears family. This is going out to one of y'all, right? This is going to be y'all trophy for winning the Blorangetears Debate League championship. Right? Stuff like this. Right? When you win the Blorangetears Debate League championship, I'm putting this in a box and sending it to the address that you have listed, to the address that you have on file. Right? And the reason why it's important for me to show y'all this is because when y'all submit super chats, when y'all send stuff to Cashapp and all that stuff, it don't go to what kind of car Uncle Freezy driving. Uncle Freezy always been driving dope cars, and I'm gonna keep driving dope cars. Right? That's that. Right? My house and stuff is already paid for. Right? I paid off my house and stuff, all of that stuff before I even got on YouTube. Right? Right? Because I used to be the broke guy trying to take care of a girl on a, you know what I'm saying, trying to be a boss on a budget and all that stuff. And I got smart and I wised up. And I was like, listen, instead of throwing money away, I'm going to invest in myself and my family. You know what I'm saying? So I did that years ago. So all my stuff is, I don't need all kinds of stuff. Because I work hard for stuff. It's the reason why I tell you that I don't like sleeping, right? But what y'all contribute, this is what y'all money do. When you cash app, when you super chat, when you come in, when you smash the like button, when you subscribe to the channel, you know what I'm saying? When you do all of that stuff, I take that bread and put it right back into the channel. That's why when y'all hear me talk about stuff, I be talking stats and all that stuff. It be because I be researching, subscribing to all of these things that give me data, right? So I don't get up here and sound like a fool, right? Now, sometimes I sound a little off base, out of touch or whatever, because the stats will take me in that direction. The data will take me in that direction. But for the most part, all the data is true and resourced. So when I talk to y'all about how important it is for the Knicks to have a center, offensive center, trust me, it's not something I just made up along the way, right? This right here, this belt, it's so big and obnoxious. I can't even keep it on me, bro. I had to put it on the table. This right here is gonna go to somebody in the Blorangetears family. And yes, this is gold plated. And yes, this is leather. This is leather and gold plate. Right? This is leather and gold plate. Right? So just want to say that, man, when y'all buy stuff out the online store, when y'all do y'all super chats, when y'all do y'all cash apps and all of that stuff, this is where stuff go. Towards stuff like this. It's so big and awkward, I could barely fit it on the screen. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? This is going to the Blorangetears Debate League champion. Right? Say for instance, Chef NYK wins the Blorangetears Debate League championship. Not only are we going to congratulate him, I'm putting it in a box and I'm sending it to their house. This will be yours forever. Well, as long as you want to keep it. I would respectfully ask you not to do nothing crazy with it, like, you know, something stupid. Because others want it. It has value. Other people want stuff like this. Let me do something real quick, man. Let me get off this camera and put this thing up real quick. That belt, and y'all see it right there. That belt, when I pulled it out the box, I was like, oh my God. Bim. So I saw that, I was like, bim. You know what I'm saying? The thought crossed my mind for like 10 seconds, right? When I was in the bedroom cutting it out of the box, you know, opening the box, whatever. I was like, yo, this joint is so fire. I might keep this joint for myself. But nah. You know how that go. It's all about this family, bro. It's all about this family, right? It's all about this family, right? So anyway, and now the other bears are jealous. Now the other bears are jealous that Smokey got the championship belt wrapped around his waist. Now the other bears are jealous. David Jackson says that belt's going to look good on him. Hey, man, probably so. Probably so. I'm going to work on the details and put it out there on the community tab. Eventually, my goal was to do it this weekend. David Parker says, the bell got me hyped. Run it back. Word. No doubt. Yo, y'all said it's like Hulkamania is running. Hulkamania is running wild, brother. Huh? Kane Jerry, what's good? What's good? Hey, I'm gonna finish up quick about the pick and roll, and then I'm gonna stop spewing all this nonsense, man, and then throw the link in the chat so we can just continue the conversation. But you have to have a pick and roll handler, right? You got to have a ball, somebody good with the basketball, right? That's a threat to take that ball all the way to the basket and yam on somebody. Right? You got to have a guy that if he gets a good screen and the defense doesn't react, will go to the basket and throw it down. Like Chuck D says, I'll throw that thing down your throat like Barkley. Yeah, man. You got to have a pick and roll handler that if he gets a crease, goes to the basket and finishes. Right? You got to have a threat to get all the way to the basket, right? Right. So first, the first thing is this. With the pick, or second thing is this. With the pick and roll handler, once he gets the screen, he has to see how the defense is reacting. Are they icing him? Are they going to force him back out to the sideline or further away from the basket up top? Because if so, you have to be able to hit a cutter, cutting behind them, and it's kind of like a trap. It's like a mini trap, but not major. It's not a full commitment. When they say ice, that's basically what they're doing. Is a guy's jumping out way out high, egregiously up high, to kind of force you to go in a direction that you don't want to go. Right? So you got to be able to hit a cutter behind that. Because a cutter is going to see that from one side or the other. Right? So if they don't ice, or if you beat this almost trap coming, because they're going to come and be egregiously high and try to force you to the sideline, right? And so for those that have not played basketball, the sideline is like a third defender. That's the reason why the sideline is important in the ice pick and roll, right? Kind of force you where you have limited real estate to operate in the pick and roll. That's all it is. It just shrinks the amount of ground that you have to operate. You know what I'm saying? And it forces you to try to pass to the open court where you have dudes playing passing lanes that are looking to pick off errant passes. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Can you hit a cutter? Can you throw a pocket pass? RJ Barrett did it. I already talked about it about 10 times. RJ Barrett was the only point guard, only ball handler I saw do it all season. Right? And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful that it caught everybody off guard. But I only saw him do it once. Right? Now, with that said, once you turn the corner, what is the big doing? Is the big playing drop coverage, or is he up on his man? Well, against us, bigs play drop coverage because our centers can't run and they can't shoot and they can't catch. Right? Against Taj, all they do is wait in the paint. Because Taj is not jumping over nobody. He's not faster than nobody. While he has decent average NBA hands, he's not a guy that's going to catch it and make a basketball move. But Nerlens Noel, out the question. Nerlens Noel, oh my God. Nerlens Noel, bro. Nerlens Noel on offense is out. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't listen. And I know some of y'all want Nerlens Noel to come back. No. We don't need Nerlens Noel back. No. Especially for the money he's going to try to command. No. What are we even doing? First of all, if the Knicks come back next year with any version of Taj Gibson, Nerlens Noel, or Norvel Pelle, the front office need to be fired on the spot. Any two of them dudes coming back together, Norvel Pelle, Taj, and Nerlens Noel, the front office need to be fired. And I'm talking about bagged. I ain't talking about no termination in HR either. I'm talking about walking up to them and telling them they fired at their desk. You fired. I ain't talking about no corner conference room Friday afternoon. You don't waited all week, and you know what I'm saying. The HR person's like, "Hey, can I talk to you in conference room B?" No, nothing like that. No, any combination of Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson, or Norvel Pelle as the second and third center, fired. Are you kidding me? Because we can't have a combination of Mitch, Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson, and Novell Pell coming back to an offense that was atrocious. Y'all think it was the guards. No, it's not the guards. I keep saying that, man. You can, for one dude is 6'10", 200 pounds, and can't set a screen because he ain't big enough. And he can't catch. You would think a superior athlete and shot blocker could at least catch a basketball. And Nerlens Noel, no. Taj Gibson is too small, too old, too slow, not athletic enough to be that guy. And nothing against Taj, but hey, Father Time is undefeated. If this was 10 years ago, Taj, okay, I think we got something to work with. But this is not 10 years ago, Taj. This is a year older Taj. If you think he looked old and slow this year, what do you think he's going to look like next season? You think he's going to get better? I don't mind Taj coming in and being an emergency rotation guy, right? But if Taj Gibson is getting heavy minutes, we're not going to be the 4th seed next year. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all hearing it from me first. If the Knicks roll into next season with Mitch, Taj, Nerlens Noel, or Novell Pell, any three of those four, it's over. If y'all want an offense, y'all not going to get it. If we come back with Mitch, Taj, Nerlens, and Novell Pell, and y'all think the offense is going to look different because we added different guards, y'all crazy. Because we have bigs that can't catch and set screens or shoot jumpers or dribble basketballs. Think about the last time you saw a Knicks center make a good basketball move away from the basket. Brandissimo was good. Quiet Money was good. I'm asking y'all, when was the last time y'all saw a Knicks center do a basketball move away from the basket? When's the last time y'all saw a Knicks center pump fake, put the ball on the floor, dribble, go to the basket, and yam on somebody? And y'all better not say Patrick Ewing. Think about what I'm asking. This is a decent question. This is a fair question. I asked y'all a fair question, right? I asked y'all a fair question. When's the last time y'all saw a Knicks center, a dude playing center for the Knicks, make a basketball play away from the basket? This is the name I have been thinking about too, Kyle O'Quinn. Kyle O'Quinn is probably the last Knicks center I've seen do something like that. And I think he might have been playing power forward at the time. Well, I don't know. But think about what I'm asking you and how ridiculous it is that we are starved of that. Right? So I brought up the point about the ball pick and roll ball handler being a good decision maker, right? And finishing at the basket. So the third element is you need 3-point shooters and slashers to keep teams from overloading the pick and roll, right? So you need not just spot up guys, but guys that are know how to move without the basketball, that keeps themselves on the outside shoulder of the ball handler and at least 18 feet away from the ball handler, so that when the defense comes, they can kick it out to that guy. And while that sounds like it's something easy to do, it's not. But I'll tell you who's elite at it. Doug McDermott. When Indiana's guards do all this fancy stuff, weaving in and out of traffic, and you're trying to penetrate the defense, Doug McDermott keeps his shoulders parallel to the ball handler. So all the ball handler has to do is kick it out to Doug McDermott. And I know that doesn't sound like a skill, but that's a skill. And I think if we get a Corey Kispert in this draft, I think that solves our issue. He's probably the best at it. Gonzaga had guards galore that could penetrate and do whatever, and Corey Kispert stayed. I mean, it's like second nature to him. It's like a spidey sense to him. And I'm not saying trade up for Corey Kispert. That's not what I'm saying. But if he falls down to us, I'd take him. Right? I'm not saying trade up for Corey Kispert. I'm not even saying throw the bag at Doug McDermott. What I'm saying is a player with a player with that player profile. With that player profile, right? A player with that player profile, not just a spot up shooter guy. No. Anybody can stand on the X, so to speak. Anybody can stand on the X. Reggie Bullock did it offensively, right? What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is you have to have high IQ players, and high IQ doesn't always go with high athleticism. So if you get a guy like that, you got to understand. It's like in high school. You know what I'm saying? When you need the high SAT scores, it's not always the center fielder on your baseball team with the high SAT scores. It's not always the point guard, starting point guard of your basketball team with the high SAT scores. Would you like it to be that? Yes, of course. Right? So when you get that guy, you're gonna understand that he's got deficiencies in other places. You just got to live with that. Right? Frank Matos is in the building. What's good? Right? And so the final thing, the final thing that you need to have in order to have a successful pick and roll offense is you have to have a coach that's willing to invest in this pick and roll offense for the long term. It can't be like, just run the pick and roll with my defensive guys. Nah, it ain't. That's not how it works, coach. That's not how it works. If you get guys that can play offense and defense, great. But mostly, you're going to have guys that are either defensive or offensive. We throw around buzzwords like, oh, he's 3-and-D. Well, the 3 part of that is he don't create his own 3-pointer. It's usually a guy that can move around the perimeter and keep himself open for the kick out pass from the pick and roll ball handler. Right? That's the 3 part. And the D part is defensive versatility. Right? Not just D. Oh, he's a defense guy, and no. Usually the dudes that are 3-and-D are like between 6'6" and 6'9". They can guard, defend multiple positions, and be a star in multiple defensive looks. And I know y'all like, whoa, the NBA is man-to-man. Nah, man, listen. I'll give you an example. in Tibbs' defense, ice pick and roll defense, right? The wing player, the 2 or the 3, is going to be arm's length against the opposing team's center, right? So our center is guarding him, and a wing player is arm's length. Like, for instance, when we played the Phoenix Suns, you always saw R.J. Barrett touching DeAndre Ayton. Now, this is for those that watch the game, not the ball, but the entire chess match. The entire chess match, not just, son, I'm watching the pawns. No, when you watch the entire game, you see certain things. R.J. Barrett had his hand on DeAndre Ayton just in case our center, Nerlens Noel, was out of position, right? Chris Paul sees this and zips the ball out to the corner. R.J. Barrett's responsibility is to beat that ball to the corner, right? And so Phoenix beat us in that because they recognized it and beat us to it a few steps early, right? A few steps earlier, Chris Paul seeing this, having played thousands of games, he sees this defense and knows it. So he zips the ball to what's my man name with the dreads? The one Alfred Payton pushed. Y'all know the guy. The guy that stole the inbound pass and was going to shoot a 3, and Alfred Payton tried to push him out the air. Oh, cheap shot. Alfred Payton made me sick, man. Y'all know the guy with the dreads. The dude that looked like everybody's cousin. Y'all know the guy I'm talking about. Y'all know the dude that played for the Grizzlies the year before last. He played for the Suns now. Yeah, Jay Crowder. The dude that looked like everybody's cousin. As soon as I saw him, I was like, hey, that's my cousin. No, that's Jay Crowder. But dang, my cousin looked like Jay Crowder. But yeah, Chris Paul zips the ball out to Chris Paul Chris Paul whips the ball out to Jay Crowder in the corner for 3. And it looks like R.J. Barrett was just standing there, you know what I'm saying, on his phone texting. But he wasn't. Chris Paul made an elite read, an elite pass to a decent 3-point shooter, and he made the basket. Hey, you live and die with that. Tibbs knew that was the weakness in that defense anyway. But the risk is you gotta run it, you know what I'm saying, because it stops most teams. It stops most points. Most teams don't have Chris Paul. That's why that defense works. Because most teams do not have Chris Paul. That's why it works. You got to give them credit. You got to give them credit, right? You got to give them credit, right? It's just how the game goes. You got to give Chris Paul credit for being able to make that pass, right? Let me throw this link in the chat. I've been talking so much. Yeah, Jay Crowder looked like everybody's cousin. You know how you go somewhere? Cuzzo, what's good? Dog, you look just like Jay Crowder. Be civilized says, my man Jay Crowder is cousin Pete. Cut Pete. Cut Pete. Andy Garcia, what's happening? What's happening? Hey, Andy Garcia, you like that belt? You like the belt? You like the belt back here? Yo, what's good, boss?
Good morning.
Hey,
how
man.
are you?
Hey, I'm Gucci.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, so the belt came in yesterday. I was so hyped about the belt, bro. I was like, yo, this is crazy, son. This is crazy.
So to go in connection with your conversation, right? In order to do those things, right? In which you're attempting to break down, right?
Right.
We need the pieces in order for that to come a reality, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So let's do this, right? What yesterday, right? What was your draft board of the list of guys you had for the Knicks? What was it?
It was
For the
it was Kai Jones, Trey Mann, Sharif Cooper, Trey Murphy, BJ Boston, Josh Christopher.
Okay, I like Josh Christopher, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him on my list. I forgot about him. I have Sharif Cooper, Chris Dort, Trey Murphy III, Quentin Grimes, Bones Highland, Ferenc Bujenberg. If you don't know him, I'll explain him in a second.
I know who it is. Yeah.
Okay, Sandro Mambalashki, you know that dude from Seton Hall.
Seton Hall, yeah.
Yeah, and I had Jared Butler. That's my list so far.
My only deal with Jared Butler is the heart condition thing, bro.
But I'm saying if he slips in the second round, like late second round, because nobody picks him up because of that, what do you got to lose?
Nothing really, man. But you know,
what's your thoughts on that boy from the one I just mentioned, the Ferenc Bujenberg? What do you think about him?
Let me. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up the where is it? Because I want to do the. I'm gonna. All right, so let me do this. That way people can that way the family can follow along with the conversation.
I'm gonna remember you said that, C-Mac.
This is the guy. This is no. You talk. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're not talking about Yuhan Bejerin, right?
No, brother. I'm talking about. I'll tell you who I'm talking about right now.
Where is the guy you're talking about?
I'm talking about. If go to your thing, right?
Right. Eddie C, what's good?
It was good. Was good.
And so how you been, bro?
I've been good, man. How you been? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute. Yeah, man. Hey, so we were talking. We were talking some draft.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, how do you spell this cat's name?
Okay, I got you. I spelled it out. It took me a while too because you know. All right, so it's you got the Lorenz, right? And it's BLE, right? IGEN BURGH.
BURGH.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
They're saying he could drop in the second round. They have him at 45th. Now the Knicks have interviewed him as well. So I'm saying if he's around that 32 pick or the 33rd, whatever we have, I'll snatch him up in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it.
Is he legit 6'10"?
He is legit 6'10". He runs the team. He's got an exceptional ball handle for his size. He can read everything, make every type of pass. He was inconsistent with his shooting, but he has good signs. And defensive, a little bit of a liability, but he does know how to get down in a defensive stance, so that's a good sign. I like him.
Okay.
You should check him out.
Okay. So we can get him late in the second round.
Absolutely. No. Early in the second round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm asking because the picks, in my opinion, are going to be super valuable the later you get in the draft. The later you get in this NBA draft, which is in 20 days, the more valuable these picks are going to be. Right? Like to me, I think once the first round is over, second round picks are going to have first round pick value, and they never do. That is so rare. Like for instance, as soon as the first round is over, and names like Josh Christopher and BJ Boston are still on the board, cats are going to want to give you first round picks for them. Eddie, say, do you agree, or do you think I'm off my rocker? Do you think BJ Boston is not a first round pick?
I do. It's just, before I answer that, I just want to discard, I guess is the word I'm looking for, the notion of that the Knicks can't keep all their picks, because in actuality, I think it's a benefit if they do have all their picks, because then they can stash them in the G League, and then they can nourish them in the G League and make them better players, so that when they're ready to play, they can come up to the big boy team and play. So just because we make all 4 picks doesn't mean that we're going to have to put all those 4 players on our roster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's actually how you build a winning team, a championship team.
There you go.
Having these players flourish
now you're talking.
in the G League, and when they're ready, they can come up and they're ready to play.
Right.
Probably what we should have been doing with Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
Right.
And Frank.
Yeah, and
Frank and whoever. Actually, all of these kids that came up. If they're not ready to play, that doesn't mean that they're not good players, or they shouldn't be valued as first round picks or as high second round picks. I mean, you're always drafting on potential, depending on the situation. If you're looking for a ready player, then that's a different story. If you're a championship team, but if you were a team like us that weren't in the playoffs, you draft on potential, and then you nourish that player, even if it's not on the A team, right? Until he's ready to come play. And then, the people don't see him playing on the NBA squad, and they don't get all antsy about, oh, this player sucks, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Once he's ready to come play, he comes up and plays. Like, I'm going to give you an example of like a Chris Boucher. Toronto Raptors is a perfect example of an organization that nourishes their players, that builds up their players, and then when they're ready, they come into the big boy team, and all of a sudden they're Fred VanVleet. Like, nobody remembers
OJ Anunoby.
Right.
Nobody remembers none of these players when they're in the G League. All they do is remember them when they came up and they were ready to play. And now people are looking like, hey, Chris Boucher looks like a pretty good power forward center who could stretch the floor, but he had to be nourished. Right. So I just wanted to add that point before I answer your question. I do think Josh Christopher, I do think BJ Boston are first round picks. The draft is so deep, and there's a lot of shuffle between players that are looked at as second round picks that jump into the first round, and then vice versa, players that are first round picks that jump into that slide a little bit to the second draft. That happens every year. So if you can get one of those players, I mean, I personally like Josh Christopher a little bit better than BJ Boston, but I think they're both talented. I think they're both talented.
Keep this point too, Eddie, that what you were saying about keeping the draft picks is that we're still in the talent acquisition phase. We're still developing our roster. We're still developing the core of this team. So it's very important to keep all that talent.
Right. I don't like to pigeonhole myself into saying we need to draft a point guard. If the point guard isn't what we're looking for, and there's a better player at a different position, like I would draft a better player at a different position. I'm of the thinking that if we can draft 2 wings in the first round, if somehow Zaire Williams is available for us at 19, I'm going to take Zaire Williams, and I'll probably take a Troy Murphy right after.
He scares me, Zaire, but okay. You would take Zaire over Chris Duarte?
Chris Duarte? Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I would take him over Duarte. I would take him over Duarte.
Okay.
Again, I draft on potential. He's a 6'9" small forward, so now we can definitely play RJ Barrett at the 2. Murphy is another 6'9" small forward, so he can actually back him up once they're ready to come play. So, I want to fill my team up with wings, people that can shoot the ball, people that can stretch the floor, and people that can play defense. So height is very important to me. Like I like length on my team. I've always liked length on my team. If I can put RJ Barrett at the 2 instead of the 3, I'm of that thinking. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not to
I've
say that
always
I
thought
don't
that
like
as well.
I don't like smaller players. If they can ball, they can ball. You know what I'm saying? If they can play, they can play. But I am usually drafting towards length, potential, and any other factors that I could think of. Like I'm of that thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I think I'm with you on that.
But let's keep in mind, the playmakers do come in all shapes and sizes. And I would say this in chat earlier. We don't necessarily need like a PG. We just need guys that could be able to make plays for themselves and make plays for others. And this is coming from a guy that if I was at that 19, I'm taking Sharif Cooper. I'm not even thinking about it. But I'm saying that I think this roster would be a lot better next year if we complemented players like that on the team. And I still take Trey Murphy the third with that 21st.
Yes, without it quickly.
Right. So we're interested to see what the front office thinking and mentality and the coaching staff thinking mentality is. And it's going to start on draft night. We're really going to see in what direction they're going.
I also think that if you go into the second round, there's a lot of playmakers out there too. There's Miles McBride. There's Nashawn Highland might still be available.
Bones, yeah, yeah.
You can still pick up, somebody that you can work with, and still fill your team up with wings, which is what the Knicks really need, man. You know what I'm saying? We really need wings. Atlanta Hawks is a great example of what you can do with a lot. They just drafted wings after wings after wings.
I was saying that yesterday.
DeAndre Hunter, Chris Herter. They just drafted wings after wings after wings, and look at them now.
And most importantly, wings that can put the ball on the floor, work in the pick and roll, get their own shot, and space the floor.
And defend.
Yeah.
And defend.
Defend is actually like number 2 on my list. If you can stretch the floor and defend, we can work on your dribbling into the middle of the lane. But if you can shoot the ball, stretch the floor, and you can defend your position, even on the switches, when you have to switch on a power forward, when you have to switch on a point guard, I think you're on top of the game right there.
Right.
No doubt. Hey, City for Real is in the building. Shout out to City for Real. What's good?
City for Real.
City, I see you. Hey, you see the belt back there on the bear? See the bear got the Blorangetears Debate League Championship belt on? That's fire. That's fire. Yeah, that's fire. Shout out to Boost Mobile. Hey, but listen, I agree with what both of y'all are saying, right? I definitely think the Knicks need to upgrade. I think the Knicks have to. It's urgent that the Knicks get 2 things this offseason. And that is 2 to 3 versatile wings in this draft or free agency. And a center that knows what a basketball is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a center that knows what a basketball is, bro. You have to. Right? Because ideally, when you look at the Bucks have everything you need to defend the Phoenix Suns. Drew Holiday can defend Devin Booker and Chris Paul, right? He can defend both of them, right? They have wing defenders in Giannis and Chris Middleton. And Giannis is way better than Middleton, but Giannis can guard your small forward, your power forward. And sometimes just center, right? Right. But you know what they don't have? They don't have a guy that can stay with DeAndre Ayton 24/7. They just don't, and it's showing in the game. And while the on-ball action may look like the guards are dominating, but the guards get to dominate because you have a brick wall screen setter that can catch passes and steamroll to the basket. So he's a threat offensively. And I know Knicks fans don't get it. Knicks fans don't get. They don't feel like we need a center. They want the new shiny toy that everybody else got, right? Oh, I want a 6'2" point guard that can dribble his way around the phone booth and shoot the 3. Hey, me too. But the reason why those dudes do is because the coach is either totally committed to getting that player shots, or that player has a brick wall screen setter that can free him up. That's just how it works. Like in the case of Dame Lillard, Terry Stotts put his career on the line so that Damian Lillard can become Damian Lillard.
I think you got Eddie waiting on the studio there for you.
Nah, he ain't done it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, he didn't.
Oh, he said pass the link. All right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So Stotts put his faith in Lillard.
Yeah. Coaches will do that. Lloyd Pierce put his coaching career on the line so that Trae Young can do whatever he wanted to do, and he got him fired. Terry Stotts and Caleb Canales put Dame time together for Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Right? People don't understand that you don't just wake up and become Dame Lillard. You have talent, but you have to have investment from the coaching staff in order to have that much freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
It's Tibbs. Think about this. What if we draft our Damian Lillard this year? Is Tibbs going to give a young rookie Dame Lillard the ultimate green light to be Dame Lillard?
And we talked about this yesterday, Freeze. You know, Tibbs scares me a little bit. I get concerned about Tibbs sometimes.
Right.
He seems rigid. He seems like, it's gonna be this way, and if it's not this way, it's like, yo, you gotta evolve, brother. You gotta be able to bend. You gotta be bamboo. Right.
You gotta be flexible. Tibbs ain't gonna be that in year 1 and year 2. I'm just saying that off go. Right. Tibbs ain't gonna be that in year 1 and year 2 because he's been brought in to establish a culture, a winning culture.
True. Right.
And so in order for Tibbs to establish that winning culture, he's got to have 2 winning seasons back to back. It's just what it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and those are the pros of what he did. He brought in the culture, he brought in the structure, he brought in the philosophy, he brought in the principles. And that was needed forever.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's like a girlfriend you just met. You know what I mean? She's got a nice body, she's got nice boobs, she got a nice butt. Her attitude's a little but I think she stole some money from me. It's like I have to now. My red flags are up. I got to be concerned now. Did she do it? Did she not do it? And Tim kind of hits me that way. He does certain things that concern me, that raise my antennas up.
So you're the Tibbs of the dating scene. That's what I got from that. That's what I got from that. You are the Tom Thibodeau of the dating scene.
But let me ask you a question. But you are happy with Tom Thibodeau as your coach, right?
I'm content. Can I put it like that?
You're content. So if you had the opportunity to fire Thibodeau and hire any coach that's available right now, who would you hire over Thibodeau?
Who's available? Give me the list, and then I'll answer.
Whoever's available right now.
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying.
But if we're talking that he worries you that you have this, you should have somebody in mind that you're like, okay, this is the perfect coach that I would like for my team.
I think that's why I'm saying I'm content.
And it's not just you, but there's a lot of people that say certain things about the coaching, about this and that, but then they always come back. But he did do this. But he did do that.
Well, I have to critique him, Eddie.
The line between perfection and somebody that's trying to get you there. There's never perfection in anything you do.
Absolutely.
You always have to try your hardest to be at the best position possible, right? So does he have lapses? Does any other coach have lapses? If we don't see every single Knicks game, we don't realize the lapses, right?
Right.
Same thing. If you don't see every single Golden State Warrior game, if you don't stay up at 11 o'clock to watch every single Golden State Warrior game, and you see all the mistakes that Steve Kerr maybe have done, you would say, "Oh wow, Steve Kerr. I don't know." You know what I'm saying?
But there's less, and there's a less degree of severity to the mistakes. and some of these coaches. So I'll give you a perfect example, right?
Shoot.
Tom Thibodeau took out Elfrid Payton after the second game of the playoffs and didn't use him after.
Right.
Then he inserted Derrick Rose that had played half of the season with the bench, had created chemistry, had created a camaraderie with each other, and which everybody knew what they were doing. So here's a question. Why didn't he do that earlier? Why would he wait to the second game of the playoffs?
It's the new season.
Or the third game of the playoffs.
Oh, it was the third game?
Let him finish so then I can answer his question.
In order to make such a drastic move like that, because now you have imbalanced the rest of your rotation now. And you saw it take effect. So I see that as a critical decision that should have been made a little bit earlier in the season, as opposed to he looked like he was on panic mode, and now he's like, all right, Elfrid. So go ahead.
I mean, we did. Okay, we did. Did we lose the first game? Didn't we have home court advantage, and we lost the first game, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so you as a coach, wouldn't you, even though you have done this for so long, wouldn't you have made a change, or you would have still stuck with Elfrid Payton?
No.
I think it's very important in playoff time, and especially in the first round, you keep to what you're doing. When you do something like that, that's a move that you make when you're in the second, third round, and there's adjustments that you have to make. I felt that was adjustment that was overdue.
And to both of y'all's point, if Trae Young misses that floater in game 1, in game 3 the Knicks have a 2-0 lead. Think about it.
If Trae Young misses that floater, he doesn't switch the lineup. But now you're down 0-1 at home. You understand what I'm saying? So you, as a coach, you have to try your darndest. And he still didn't switch the lineup in game 2.
The writing was on the wall.
He switched the lineup in game 3. He switched the second half lineup in game 2, and that was able for us to win the game. Like I have critiques, but that's what they are. They're critiques. They're not what do you say?
Death nails. That's what it is. Like when Eddie C critiques, it's just like, hey, Tibbs ran a fantastic defensive unit, right? But maybe the offense could have been a little bit better, is what I get from Eddie C.
I agree with that. And I agree, and that's why I'm content, because I want to see what he does this season, especially offensively. Right. Go ahead, Devon.
Well, he's gonna be here this season and next season. And just to let me finish, no matter what we would have done, we were not better than the Atlanta Hawks. People have to understand that we were not a better team than the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, we could have switched the whole second team on the first team. We could have done anything in our world possible, and we were not going to beat the Atlanta Hawks. So it's not a matter of.
I could agree with that to a certain degree, but I also think too that we could have won another game.
Yeah,
Julius Randle.
The first one, we should have won the first one.
We win a game or more too. One or two.
I felt that series could have gone a bit longer. I felt that our defense was equipped enough for the task. So
I feel like Tibbs, what you guys are saying is basically that Tibbs should. So you're basically saying Tibbs made the wrong move by subbing in Derrick Rose for Payton. Is that what you guys are saying?
No, that I said that. Yes.
I kind of agree with you, but I kind of disagree with you at the same time. Like I agree that
no problem.
He should have made the move, but I don't think it should have been Rose.
Right. I think it should have been Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, I think it should have been Frank or Quickly.
I think it should have been Burks.
Or somebody like that, where you don't really mess up.
I ain't hating that.
The flow of the lineup too much.
I'd rather a proven veteran. Yeah. If you're gonna make a drastic move, do it with a proven veteran, not with a guy that you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get.
But he was only playing Payton 6 minutes.
Right.
That, you know,
if that.
So yeah, if that. So
that's why I said Frank, because he would have done the same thing to Frank, and it would have never taken away the balance of your lineup.
Same thing. That's why I feel the same way. But, you know, He should have went with somebody else. But it's the move you got to make. We know that. That's the move you got to make. Rose was definitely our best player in the playoffs. The whole playoffs. You can't have
Who was better than Rose, Freezy?
Who was better than Rose?
No, man, listen. Scoring is not everything. Scoring the basketball.
But Devon was talking about on the offensive side of the field.
How did Derrick Rose? Hey, Devon, how did Derrick Rose look defensively against Trae Young?
Oh, stop doing that, Freezy. Stop doing that.
How does anybody look against Trae Young?
All right, so okay, all right. So I will give you an example. Ben Simmons held Trae Young to 3. No, listen. Hear me out.
And there was a lot, and they were double teaming him off that screen, Freezy.
Right. So what you're saying is what Philly does, the Knicks can't do.
What I'm saying is that I think that Philly had a better plan for him with using a lot of length on him and trapping him 25, 30 feet away from the basket.
I think y'all are making excuses for Derrick Rose.
No, Derrick got shredded. We're not saying that.
He got cooked.
But I'm saying,
but okay, go ahead. Cooking Trae Young though. Maybe sometimes your best defense is offense. You know that too, Freezy.
And Freezy, keep this in mind too. Philly had to implement that double team, that trap 25-30, because nobody could contain Trae.
Right.
So that's what it says. Not just a Derrick Rose thing.
No. What I'm saying is I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, let's not say Derrick Rose was the best player just because he could score. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff going. Derrick Rose might have been the most consistent offensive player. Hey, Fish, look, you like the championship belt?
Yeah.
You like the Blorange Tears Debate League championship belt, bro?
Yeah.
You know this could be yours, right?
I know.
You know this could be yours, right? I'm just saying. If you win the Blorange Tears Debate League, I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You win the Blorange Tears Debate League, I'm sending it to you.
All right.
Evergreen G, what's good?
What's up, G?
And let me ask you a question too, Freezy, since you want to throw Derrick Rose under the defensive bus, right? How is Noel's pick and roll defense?
Right.
Oh, Nerlens Noel is, man. Hey, yo. So first of all, y'all already know that I don't like Nerlens Noel, right? But I'm not egregiously against Nerlens Noel. I just don't think he's a good fit for us. I think he's too light in the rump, right? He can't catch. You know what it is? A dude told me what a Raiders fan said. A Raiders fan was like, "I'm glad we traded Randy Moss because we got Darius Haywood-Bay." Bro, are you really telling me that you glad y'all traded Randy Moss to the Patriots because y'all got Darius Haywood-Bay? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And he was like, Darius Haywood-Bay is just as fast as Randy Moss. Bro, but he can't catch. What's the point? This is the same thing I'm saying about Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel is almost as athletic as Mitch, but he can't catch. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're gonna go on this tirade about with Rose and throw out his defensive inefficiencies in that series, you better make sure that you got a body bag with Noel right next to him, and put Bullock there too.
Right. All of them can go. Good. All of them can go. What I'm telling what okay, why would I keep Nerlens Noel when I can draft Isaiah Jackson?
No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
Nerlens Noel is an expendable player for sure. He's definitely not a mainstay. It's not, I don't think anybody in the chat in Nick Nation in the world will be mad if I got rid of Nerlens Noel. Yeah,
Bye, Nerlens.
Yeah, he's not. Even Mitch, it's like you can get rid of him, but it's a little bit more like but Noel can definitely go.
Right. Why would I keep? That's the thing. The Raiders fans used to tell me, man, Darius Haywood-Bay might be as fast as Randy Moss.
But that's a Raiders fan. That's their culture, speed.
Right, but
they bought into their culture.
But Darius Haywood-Bay couldn't catch a beach ball if you lobbed it to him from 2 feet away. Right?
Beach ball.
Good dog, do you know how big a beach ball is? Do you know how far 2 feet away is? If you lobbed it to him, he wouldn't catch it, bro. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying about Nerlens Noel. And that's what I'm saying about the Mitchell Robinson can be DeAndre Ayton argument, right? Mitchell Robinson, and who I love, is not DeAndre Ayton. It ain't even close. They came out in the same draft, in the same age, right? One dude sets hellified screens. One dude makes you not even want to get screen. One dude makes you dodge the screen.
Hold on.
Right?
Freezy, can I ask you this though, really quick?
Yes, sir.
Is that a DeAndre Ayton thing, or is that a Chris Paul thing? Is that a Chris Paul telling you better set this guy?
Nah, he was talented. He would be talented. His evolution probably wouldn't come as quick without Chris Paul. But DeAndre Ayton was a talented player.
Okay, so let's ask this.
He was the number 1 pick in the draft, bro.
I'm not taking nothing away from him at all.
They picked him over Luka.
They picked him over Trey and Luka.
They picked him over Luka.
It's like saying if we would have had Trey Young, and Mitchell Robinson would have been playing, how would Mitchell Robinson look?
Right. So my question is, if you give Mitchell Robinson and Derrick Rose together the whole season, do we see a different output offensively in Mitch?
No.
He needs a better playmaker.
Yeah. Derrick Rose is not a passing point guard.
Okay, and the reason I bring that up is Derrick Rose's playmaking abilities better than Elfrid Payton's?
Oh God, man! Our Gummy Bears playmaking abilities is better than his.
All right. So I'm only bringing this up. I'm only bringing this up to bring a point. Last season, Mitchell Robinson shot 74% from the field, right? And if he shot 74% from the field with Elfrid Payton as being the primary guard, and we're saying that Derrick Rose is a better playmaker, then could we say that Mitchell Robinson's offensive output is going to be better?
See, now we're talking.
Rose?
Now we talking. That's an excellent point, Evergreen. Yeah. That's an excellent point. But what I'm saying is, but what we're saying is that Elfrid Payton is a better playmaker than Derrick Rose, and career numbers say that Derrick Rose is the overall better scorer than Elfrid Payton, and it's not even close.
But Uncle Freezy, passing doesn't make you a good. Just because he has better assist numbers doesn't mean he's a better playmaker.
No. That's not
agreed. To do with playmaking too.
Right.
Put the ball in the hole and.
Because you have to be a threat.
I think actually this conversation is weird because they're just two different offenses. You know what I'm saying? The offense that Thibodeau runs is a slow-paced offense and probably didn't suit Elfrid Payton the best. It suits more of a scoring guard, which is Derrick Rose, who he can get his shot off by himself.
Anytime you want to. Yeah.
Agreed.
So we also have to account that season that Mitchell Robinson went 70-something%. There was like 60 games in the season. It was the coronavirus shortened season. So, there was a lot of things. There's a lot of factors that you can say why this happened, why that happened. David Fizdale was his name. I'm sorry. I forget his name. Yeah. Fizdale. His offense was more up and down, more fluid, didn't have much structure. So maybe your numbers could be elevated. And that obviously didn't necessarily mean wins. So, you know what I'm saying? The conversation is a little bit weird to me in that sense that, we can't really pin these numbers back to back to different seasons because of playing style, because of structure, because of the games that we've played. Like, I don't even think we can do that for next season because we only had 72 games in the season.
72 games and 60 games are a lot of games. That's
but the season is 82. So if there was a notion out there that the team ran out of gas in the playoffs, so you're theoretically saying that the team ran out of gas at the end of the season, didn't even get into the playoffs. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't pin these 3 years back to back to back. They all have to be in their separate capsules because they're very different. They're very different seasons.
Okay.
After that, all everything is off the table. But I think that's very important to note. You know what I'm saying? Because come on now, not you guys. can't say that he had by the numbers. Obviously, he had an historical season, but that's where the numbers can fool you. You can't say that he had better historical season than Will Chamberlain did.
Nobody
you
said
can't
that.
compare.
Nobody. You would be
Yeah,
crazy to say that.
that wasn't. We weren't talking about
That
that.
doesn't make. But if you do something for 60 games,
But under
statistically, that's what
the
you
rule
are.
books, he did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you can come up with the argument and say that he had this type of season,
Bro,
right?
but
Because of the game,
Eddie,
played.
But Eddie, the argument to that though is everybody played the same amount of games.
Right.
It's not like
But not the same amount of games. But not the same amount of games as the player that had the record did.
No, but I'm talking about.
I'm 82 games.
Yeah, he did. But what I'm saying is you have to look at it in the perspective that everybody that Mitch was playing against, that Mitch set the record against, was on the same pace of games. You know what I'm saying? Now, would he held that record if he played 82? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would probably say you can't speculate.
Been fighting for it.
Yeah, he'd have been fighting for it the whole way.
And I guess I'm going to try to set this precedent for the rest of the time that I'm ever going to be on these platforms. I'm going to try to set this precedent that the numbers always don't tell the whole story, because a lot of these arguments, the numbers become the high priority in whether you win a conversation or you win a debate or not. And I don't think that holds true across the board. The numbers don't always show you exactly what went on and how they went on. I think there's a lot of factors that go into style of play. There's a lot of factors that
numbers
go into
are the only thing we can measure.
I want to set a precedent for myself so that everybody knows whenever I'm on this platform, it depends on the situation, but the numbers to me don't always tell the whole story.
I think we could all agree that the numbers tell a story, but not the whole story.
Right.
No problem.
It tells a story, but the thing is that when we get into these debates, the numbers usually hold the high priority over a lot of the conversation.
Because
numbers
it's a measurable. That's something.
The number is the number is
exactly.
Yeah, the number is
it's measurable, but it shouldn't be held as high king over any other debates, because there's a lot of things that could go into the reason why a player has this amount of numbers and the player has this amount of numbers.
And we're just talking opinions, though.
Why? But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about myself. When I come into these platforms and I have a conversation or I have a contrast or a contradiction with somebody, and they could come at me and say, I'm just holding this as an example. I'm not going at any of you. Mitchell Robinson had the best field goal percentage in the league, 1 year, and then that right there kills the whole conversation. That can't be the way it goes down.
Nah, that ain't how.
That's not how we do it here, bro.
Yeah, that's not how
but it's the same. It's to Eddie C's point though. To Eddie C's point, people want to throw De'Aaron Fox into the great point guard conversation, right? Oh, look at De'Aaron Fox's numbers. But what they don't realize is Sacramento had the second fastest pace in the NBA, put up the most shots.
Yep.
Right. So you got to keep looking and digging into the numbers.
Yeah.
Because the numbers will tell you the whole story. If you keep digging into the right stats and the right stuff, I'm just talking.
I just like to see them play.
I'm an analytics person.
To me personally, I just like to see them play. And if they play well, and if they don't play well, then I ask myself, why didn't they play well? Is this playing style beneficial to them? When I play basketball, if I have a certain skill set, right? If I'm playing pickup ball and I have a certain skill set, right? And the skill set doesn't fit the team, most likely I won't play well. And this is pickup basketball. This is a structurized basketball. You understand? But if I play in a team where the players fit my skill set and vice versa, maybe I could have a great game and I look like a totally different player.
Okay.
What about the player?
So then you would say, if I'm on a team that doesn't fit my skill set, and I didn't have any of the good numbers, you look at that player and you would say that player is no good.
Maybe
that's not true.
Or maybe for that team.
If Draymond Green wouldn't be on the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green probably wouldn't be the Draymond Green of today.
He would still be Draymond Green, though. He would still possess the same.
That's what I'm trying to say. So when we have these debates, the numbers ain't all. You know what I'm saying? When because everybody always puts the numbers as, oh, but he had 25 this. Freezy just said Darren Fox had this numbers on a sucky team.
Right.
He's 100% right.
Hold on, Eddie. See,
You are 100% right.
He also
probably
said,
would not have those numbers on a New York Knicks team because we play a different style of basketball. Right? He wouldn't have those numbers on the Knicks team. But when you see him play, there's one thing that you cannot say: the kid can ball.
Right.
But he also said that the Kings play the fastest pace in the league, and that's a number.
No, that's
thing,
what I'm saying. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with him.
That's more of the story. The numbers not going to tell the entire story, but you can kind of summarize that chapter of that player.
Well, it tells the story. I don't know why we're still having this conversation, but
what tells the story is wins.
Numbers, you're right.
What tells the story is wins.
No, it doesn't.
That's what tells the story. How many wins did you have on your team? You can score 30, 40, 50 points a game. If you scored, Devin Booker scored 70 points a game and he lost, didn't he?
So,
yeah,
does it hold value? Does it hold more value than if he would have scored 70 points a game and he won?
It was a regular season game. It was just a game.
Right. So, but
I see what you're saying, but it's just a game, though. It's just a regular season game.
Right. And I would say to that, Devin Booker scored 70 in a game against was it the Celtics?
The Celtics.
I think he scored 70. Right, and lost, right? And Klay Thompson scored 61 against the Chicago Bulls, and they were beating the Bulls by 18 the entire time. The Bulls couldn't catch up because Klay Thompson legit went off for 60 in 3 quarters.
Okay, but what if Devin Booker doesn't score 70? How much does his team lose by? You got to think about it that way too.
But an L is an L.
It doesn't matter. But that doesn't matter.
It's a regular season game. It doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because right now they can win the championship, right? Phoenix Suns are on the verge of winning a championship, and it doesn't matter by the numbers. Hold on a second, Devon. By the numbers, Booker has certain amount of numbers. Chris Paul has certain amount of numbers. Who is being talked about as the MVP of the finals at this moment in time?
Devin Booker.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Devin Booker. Oh my God.
It's DeAndre Devon. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
more
saying?
than Chris Paul?
Yes. If you talk to all the analytics, if you talk to ESPN, DeAndre Ayton is the favorite right now. Even in Las Vegas, DeAndre is the Ayton right now to win NBA Finals MVP. So my point is this: everybody knows that Chris Paul is a better player. Devin Booker is a better player.
Hold on, okay.
Because the numbers are the way they are, DeAndre Ayton is having a better finals than those two at the moment.
MVP if his numbers aren't good.
Whose?
Ayton. His numbers must be good, right?
Right. That's what I'm trying to tell. It's all going back. It's all circling back to saying that the numbers don't tell all the story.
We know that.
All right, good.
Good.
You know that.
The story, though.
We did establish that.
You can tell a lot by the numbers.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Just like Brooklyn Buddha said, wins are a number too. You said wins are the one that wins is a number. That's a number.
Wins is the most important number.
All right.
You can score 100 points. You can score 100 points. You can score 100 on me, Devon. But if I bust your ass, I'm winning, right?
But if I score 100 on you and it
don't matter. You lost. It don't matter. You lost. It don't matter. You lost. I could have scored 99.
That doesn't.
And somebody else had 2 points.
Right. And okay. So I think we talking the same thing, just open.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. We got to move on.
I just think we talking the same thing, just because what Eddie was saying is a good point. What Devon is saying is a good point. Even though I'm teetering more towards what Eddie C said, you know what I'm saying? I think the most important thing is the dub, no matter how you get there.
So it's 31 losers every year. That's what you're telling me, and what everybody else does doesn't matter besides the team that wins the championship.
I'm gonna reserve judgment on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it depends on where your fan base, where your franchise is, and is coming from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like the Knicks losing in the first round of the playoffs this year.
That was good.
doesn't make us a loser, in my opinion.
No, not at all. We had a great season.
Right. So it depends.
But Philadelphia losing, that's not a dub.
That's a failed season. Right.
Brooklyn losing, that's an L.
Right.
That's an L.
But the Atlanta Hawks losing,
that was a big W.
Yeah. So it depends. So it depends on perspective, right? But here's the thing I want to ask you about, Devon. Here's the thing I want to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Tibbs will go into the regular season with and hit me out on it because I want to say this because I know this is a live grenade, right? do you think Tibbs can go into the season with 3 or 4 new rookies on the roster and 2 young guys in the backcourt and trust it to make the playoffs? Or do you think Tibbs is going to say, oh, no, this Trey Man kid, he's not ready at game 10, and go get me Jeff Teague?
I mean, I think Obi did play good, but I think Quickly and RJ set a good precedence for his new run, for his Knicks run.
Right.
And Mitch, the young players on our team set a good precedence for the next young group of players that are coming this draft.
Right.
The old Tibbs might have not have, done that because cats like Andrew Wiggins and, Cat kind of let them down. You know what I mean? They went there thinking, they were going to elevate and step up, and they didn't. So I think, I can only judge my rookies. If he's only judging the rookies that he's had on the Knicks, then I think so, because that's that's the movement that we're going towards. I think that's the way that the team is going towards youth. But if you look at his past, then I think maybe not. But then who would he go trade? We got all the Bulls players that he loves already on the team. So it's kind of like.
Yeah, and Freezy, and to put that in short, right? It's something that he's going to have to do, but I'm not sure if Tom is willing to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes more sense than me having this debate league championship belt on my shoulder. I'm just standing. I'm just on the camera, just like.
I think you won.
I got Devon's belt right here, like. You know what I'm saying, bro? If you knew how heavy this thing was, huh?
Where's the cyborg at? I ain't seen him in a while. Where's Hadouken? I haven't seen him.
Oh, because he usually do the Knicks at Night podcast.
At night, okay.
Yeah, so we'll be on tonight. The Knicks at Night podcast will be on tonight at 11:45. I'll be rocking, manning the controls. Probably have this stupid belt across my shoulder. Eddie C, I got to go to the grocery store, and I think I might take it with me. I think I might take it with me, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy how this thing turns your ego from this size to this size, bro. It's crazy. I can imagine Eddie C winning the Blorange Debate League championship and me putting this in the mail and Eddie C getting this, and we see it in Eddie C background. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
I got a nice spot right over there.
Man, I'm gonna send it to you as soon as you win the Debate League championship too. So as soon as you win it, I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah, man. Hey, Kaiser Sose's in the building. What's good? So the reason why I asked Devon that question was there are point guards in this draft that if you get them and nurture them, they can become elite NBA players. Right, and Sharif Cooper is a name that comes to mind.
Yes.
Sharif Cooper is missing the one thing that you can actually teach an NBA player, and that's shooting technique. Right, you can teach him that.
And you know what, Freezy? He shot 82% from the free throw line on 8.5 attempts.
And so the potential is there.
You're right.
Absolutely.
So he knows how to score. And the first question is, will his body hold up? Well, it held up at Auburn for that one season, right?
Nice song, kid.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Will the Knicks take a chance on a guy like that with elite level playmaking, and because what he does is he is okay. So the Elfrid Payton thing is there when I look at Sharif Cooper. Not the size, but I'm talking about the elite vision, the quickness, the playmaking for others, the ability to pass.
Peyton does not have the vision that Cooper has. No way.
I'm just
Okay.
What I'm saying is the player profile.
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
The player profile, and so the thing is are you going to be patient enough as a Knicks fan to wait on the shooting to come around, knowing shooting from the point guard position has been the rock in our shoe? If you ever had a rock in your shoe, you already know how frustrating it is. You walk around, you got, God dog it, stupid rock in my shoe. Or if you ever had a splinter, or if you ever had a paper cut, that's what the Knicks shooting at point guard has been for us. The most annoying little thing in the world. And it's not major, but it's frustrating. And so if you get rid of Elfrid Payton and you bring in Sharif Cooper, people are going to be like, the first 20, 30 games are going to be like, why did we get a guy at point guard that can't shoot? Are we willing to be patient through that process while Sharif Cooper learns how to score in the NBA?
I think with his free throw numbers and the attempts, and his mid range wasn't bad either. So I think there's potential, right? And I'm willing to wait on that because I know what I'm getting. I'm getting a guy that could break down the defense. I'm getting a guy that could control the offense in the half court and in transition. And I know that he has floor leadership to get guys in their spots, which is desperately what we need. We really need that. I'll wait a season for the shot to come around if I get all those intangibles. So that's that.
Right. So what you think, Eddie C?
I'm not a fan. I've been saying it. I'm not a fan of Sharif Cooper. There's a lot of there's a Sharif Hive. I've heard there's a Sharif Cooper Hive.
Right.
I'm enemy number one because I just don't think that he's big enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's big enough. I don't think he's his shot. If he would have had a nice jump shot with range, I probably would have changed my thinking of him. But I mean, we went to his workout and we didn't interview him. So we saw how the kid played, and they say that he, you know, all these kids have great workouts, right? And we didn't have a sit down with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, that's important. You know, who did the Knicks interview? Chris Duarte was interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Murphy was interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And Thibodeau said what he wanted was wings and shooting.
Right.
So I don't think that the Knicks are dumb enough to pigeonhole themselves to say, do we need a point guard? Of course we need a point guard. But we're just not going to pick a point guard to pick a point guard.
You don't think that?
You know what I'm saying? There's not that
question?
many point guards. There's very few point guards in this draft. And if he was so good, he should have been a lottery pick.
Who, Sharif?
Meanwhile, we're talking about.
Wait. Who, Sharif?
Yeah, we're talking about.
The consensus was that if he was 6'4", he definitely would have been a top 10 pick.
Right, and oh, I was gonna just interject, bro. Eddie C, I'm telling you, if the kid even shot average from the 3-point line and from the field, he'd be a top. He'd be top, maybe. I'd say top seven pick. And so the other thing too that we got to look at in this draft is the reason why kids are sliding down the board is not their lack of talent, but the fullness of the talent in this draft.
Yes.
Like say for instance, if Sharif Cooper had come out last year, the Knicks may have taken him at 8. You know what I'm saying? And over Obi, right? And this year's draft, and I know you know this already.
But Tyrese Halliburton was available, and the Knicks didn't take him.
Yeah.
To me, this is very important. You're a 6-foot point guard. You've been a 6-foot point guard your whole life, and you weren't able to shoot.
Right.
Hold on. That's a good question. But does that show how good he is getting to the basket, though? Does that show how good his other spots on this game is? Because he is only 6 feet. Just think about that.
But listen, if you 6 foot, you shooting. If you 6 feet, you shooting. If you a guard, you shooting.
Make me shoot.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have you shoot because you want to shoot.
He averaged
No.
20.
You shoot
If I'm
because you
averaging
want
20
to
and I
shoot.
can't shoot, that says a lot.
He averaged 20 and 8.
Exactly. It does says a lot. It does says a lot.
That says
If
a
you're
lot
this
about his
small,
game.
if you're 6 feet and you can penetrate anytime you want, and you can't shoot, what does
So
that
what,
say? I
Eddie
mean,
C,
it's
Eddie
going to
C,
be
he
very
shot
difficult.
20%.
Let's put it like this, Eddie. Alfred Payton can't shoot. Sharif Cooper has the potential to be a decent shooter in this league, and the numbers suggest that. So let's not value him as somebody that can't shoot.
So then why
Eddie
isn't he
C.
a lottery
We just told you because of his height, not because of his game.
Eddie C, listen to this. Listen to this stat right here.
Trey
Look at
Young
my
was a
stats
lottery
and stuff.
pick.
If he
But
makes
Trey
shoot,
Young can do everything almost.
Colin Sexton was a lottery pick, and you couldn't say that Colin Sexton was a great shooter.
he can shoot though. He can.
There you go.
Shoot.
That's
And
what
you know
I'm
why?
saying.
'Cause he can
That's
get to
what
the
I'm
basket
saying.
and you can't
That's
But
what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
because of shooting, Eddie. You're forming your own opinion on something on a general consensus doesn't match that. The general consensus on Sharif Cooper is the only reason why he's not a top 10 pick is because of his height, not because he can't shoot.
And then the Knicks should take him because he
At
slipped
19?
to us.
Yeah,
Because he's
19, I would
slipping.
take him for
Because
sure.
he should be a lottery pick. The BJ Boston should probably be a lottery pick, right? And he's going in the
No.
second round. There's a lot of deficiencies in this game.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is what I want to ask you. Are you saying you wouldn't take him, period, or you wouldn't take him at 19? Because that's two
It
different
depends on
things.
who's available. It depends on who's available on the board. Like I would take Troy Murphy over him. I would probably take Chris Duarte over him. I would.
I wouldn't be mad at those two.
I would have taken. So then what's the?
Well, I mean, that's your preference. My preference is that we need a playmaker that could break down the defense and can get others in their spots and can get theirs, which Sharif can do. But what I'm saying is that if we were to take Chris and Trey, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Okay.
But don't. So
then
okay.
Sharif Cooper doesn't get drafted at 19 and 21, but he's supposed to be, the Knicks perfect player.
Nobody said that. Yeah, nobody said that. I don't get it.
But you're saying that these are the things that the Knicks need. That's why we need to
Yeah,
draft.
I think.
we can say the same thing. We can look at the.
But then you would draft two players ahead of him that are not.
No, I said that I would draft Sharif, but if the Knicks did, I wouldn't be mad at that. You got to hear what I'm saying.
Okay, so if Chris Duarte was available, and Troy Murphy was available, and Zion Williams, I'm going to put him in there, even though I think he'll get drafted before we get to 19. You're going to pick. Who are you picking at 19?
If it was me, I'm definitely taking Sharif. There's no doubt about that.
And that's why you're not a GM.
All right, no problem. We'll get Eddie trying to throw shit at me.
Right. Who would you take?
I
would take Zaire Williams, so I can have the same argument for you.
I would take Zion Williams. Like I would definitely take.
And that's why you're not a GM, my guy.
And so
I should be though.
I'm gonna say this about the Sharif Cooper argument, right? So 16 years ago, Wake Forest had a point guard coming out, and people had the same questions. Oh, he's too short. You know what I'm saying? He's listed as a generous 6'1", 6'6". Yeah, he's an inconsistent shooter, but he can get to the basket anytime he wants. Yeah, he doesn't play great defense against guards that are bigger than him. Right? Explosive, can get anywhere on the floor that he wants to, can score anytime he feels like he's more of a scorer than a shooter. Right? That cat wound up being Chris Paul. Right? What I'm saying is this. While I'm not saying Sharif Cooper is Chris Paul, what I'm saying is if you have a number of other elite skills, then the skills that lag behind can be accommodated, right? Because Chris Paul learned to be an elite defender against anybody, right? Chris Paul learned to do that. And one of the things that Sharif Cooper does is that you can't measure. And it's the same thing. When while y'all were talking, I went back and read both Sharif Cooper and Chris Paul's Draft Express strengths and weaknesses, and they are strikingly similar. I'm not saying Sharif Cooper is going to be Chris Paul. What I'm saying is the player profile shouldn't be discounted because somebody's, not 6'4" with a 7-foot wingspan. What I'm saying, because Frank Ntilikina is 6'4" with a 7-foot wingspan, and he is nothing, right? But what I am saying is the two things that throughout both articles are competitiveness. And I think that's one of the things that if you're a GM, you can't measure it, but you have to take it into account.
Yeah.
Competitive. I just read Draft Express on Chris Paul, and they were talking about how Chris Paul punched Julius Hodge in the private parts in a game, right? That shouldn't be on a scouting report, but it is, because it spoke to Chris Paul's competitiveness, right? Now with Sharif Cooper, think about this. The guy is 6 foot. He's 6'1", 6'2". I don't care what nobody say. The dude is 6 foot tall, right? Mm-hmm. But for a dude to get to the rim, get to the free throw line over 8 times a game means he's got something in his chest that you can't teach.
And he's averaging almost 8.5 assists in college.
Right. In 40 minutes. And he don't play 40 minutes either, but you know what I'm saying? And right. in a smaller sample size, and shorter minutes time frame, the dude is averaging 8 assists and gets to the free throw line 8 times a game. So if this is a conversation just about, I wish he was 6'8" like Josh Giddey, I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. But I wouldn't take Josh Giddey over Sharif Cooper.
Oh right? Yeah.
I would take the guy that I know has a killer instinct, and not because he said it in an interview, but by what you've seen.
Okay. So we can all agree. So we can all agree that the GMs and the mock drafts, the people that are getting paid, that are on TV, CBS analysts, know a little bit more when it comes to talent pool, knows a little bit more, have more insight, talk to more insiders, talk to more beat writers than we do.
Right.
So then why Chris Paul, though, to add on to the point that you were talking about, Chris Paul, even with those deficiencies, he was still a top 5 pick.
Right.
In a weaker draft.
He was slated to be a top 5 pick. And the only reason why he wasn't picked before Darwin Williams was because his the measurables.
Marvin Williams.
You can say
Marvin Williams.
No, Darren Williams, the other point guard.
Darren Williams. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Darren. Oh man, come on, man. We can't have a Darren Williams, Chris Paul debate, man. Darren Williams wasn't a solid pro.
In the first, you can say 5-6 seasons, they were pretty
even. Yeah.
Darren Williams was a killer.
Yeah.
Right, and the system really helped Darren Williams too, because you can see as soon as he left that system, he wasn't the same player.
Exactly.
Now Chris Paul is different because on any system he was the best player on the team. Right. So why then isn't Sharif Cooper being slated to get picked over Josh Giddey?
Because drafting is an inexact science. If everybody got it right every year, the NBA draft wouldn't even be important.
You're 100% right. Like with that, you're 100% right. But there's still other factors that give you the reasons why we have these mocks, and we base our opinions on these mocks too.
Right.
It's not like we know every single player and we know where every single player should be slid by. We base our opinions on what the mock draft specialists say.
Let me ask you this. So RJ Barrett was drafted 3rd, right?
Ballin. If it was up to you, Sharif Cooper would probably be a top 3 pick.
No, that's not true. But you keep throwing shade, dog. So I don't get the issue.
All right, so let me ask you this.
I actually scout these players. I actually watch their tapes. I actually watch their games.
But you know that, right? But what I'm asking both of y'all, If y'all had the number 2 pick in RJ Barrett's draft, would you have taken John Morant or RJ Barrett? That's what I'm asking both of you.
If we had the number 2,
if we had the number 2 pick,
John Morant, hands down, not even a thought.
John Morant or RJ Barrett?
John Morant.
NEC.
I liked RJ Barrett a lot. And at the end of the day, I think probably RJ Barrett will have a better career lengthwise and be more productive because he probably have more games under his belt.
Right.
And all I'm gonna say is this: even though Memphis had the number 2 pick, they still brought in RJ Barrett for a workout. So it's not like, in hindsight, everybody knows.
They offered RJ Barrett a workout. He turned it down. RJ Barrett never worked out for Memphis.
But still, it still merits because they offered him a workout, so they wanted to take a look at him.
Right.
Even though John Morant was probably the perfect pick for them, being that they had lost Mike Conley, being that they,
right,
to pair up with the power forward, I forget his name right now, but
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Probably right now, John Morant would be the second pick, of course.
I would say, and this is what I would say, and this goes back to the Chris Paul thing. If I had the number 2 pick, I would have taken RJ Barrett, right? And the reason why I say that, and it's going to sound ridiculous to people's ears, but what I'm appealing to is your intellect, right? What I'm saying is this: there is a certain thing that some guys have that you can't measure it. Like it's a certain thing. Like it's a certain it's like, who would you rather have, Alex English or Michael Jordan? And people are like, of course, why you rather have Michael Jordan?
Alex English put numbers though.
But Alex English could score on anybody. I don't care who would what. Alex English would toy with Scottie Pippen. Alex English could put up 40 on Scottie Pippen in 3 quarters, right? And Scottie Pippen is the gold standard in terms of wing defenders. But Alex English would put up 40 on him and go to the bench and kick his feet up, right? But the thing about that though is do you love winning more than you love putting up numbers? See, Michael Jordan loved winning more than he put up numbers, more than he liked putting up numbers. Michael Jordan put up numbers because he felt like that helped him win, right? And that's the reason why I say the things like with I of all the highlights, I never saw Josh Giddey do anything physical. All I saw was all skill. I never saw him dive for a loose ball. I never saw him go to the basket and try to dunk on 2 or 3 people, right? I never saw him do such and such and such and such, right? But Sharif Cooper played in the SEC, which is probably the first or second best basketball conference in America. And he got to the free throw line 8 times. What that means to me is, regardless what defense you try to set up, he going to the basket. And it's up to you to try to stop him. But he going, you know it, and he know it. Now try to stop me from going.
Right.
That puts me in the, as a GM, I'm like, you know what? This kid has something that you can't necessarily, and you can't like the reason why I say RJ Barrett over John Morant is because I know I like John Morant. I've seen John Morant John Morant and my sons played in the same basketball conference in South Carolina, right? I saw John Morant. They had him listed at 6'2", 170, and I know John Morant was like 6 foot 145. When I walked by him, I was like, dog, you skin and bones, bro. You know what I'm saying? But the kid had heart and he had stuff that you can't teach, like elite level athleticism, all kinds of stuff that he couldn't shoot back then. And he can't shoot right now. But anyway, he's going to be a great player, right? But RJ Barrett cried, collapsed. When RJ Barrett lost the game against Lonzo Ball when they were in high school, RJ Barrett was a freshman. Lonzo Ball was a senior. RJ Barrett missed the free throw and collapsed to the floor and started crying. Right? He collapsed to the floor and started crying. He's like, kid, get up. It's just a game, bro. You got to get up, man. Lonzo, like, come on, man. You know, you'll beat us next time. I was like, RJ Barrett wanted to beat them more than he wanted to breathe air. Can I say that about John Morant? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if you're a Knicks fan, that's the type of guy that you want. Now, I'm not saying that Josh Giddey is not that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I haven't seen it. Right? But in this case, what I'm saying is you could say a kid, Sharif Cooper's size, going to the free throw line 8 times a game means he's going to throw his body on it. He wants to get to the basket more than you want to stop him from getting to the basket.
Stop it.
So there's a couple of things that I want to say. Couple points. The first one is this. When LaMelo Ball went to Australia, you seen what he did when he went to the NBA.
Right.
I mean, the kid is electric.
Yeah.
The kid is electric, but we don't see it. Right. We don't see the games. We don't sit on Saturday and Sunday on the couch and watch USA basketball games. You know what I'm saying? And this, I also don't see these types of games, so I can't form my opinion on how he can be. So then if I can't form my opinion, of course, my thinking would probably go to some other players that are maybe not as good as him, but just because I can't analyze them as well as the other ones, I'm going to put them to the side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can look at
so
the stats
that's what I'm going to say about that.
Right. So Eddie C is saying he's going to speak to what he knows.
Yeah, I understand.
And I respect that.
I understand, but I said you can look at the stats and I can tell you a little story about Sharif Cooper.
No, but okay, but the example that I came out with was there was a lot of YouTubers, there's a lot of analysts that said a lot of things about LaMelo Ball, right? Because he didn't go play in college, this and that, and then he comes over here and it's like, yo, like this kid. Like when
you saw LaMelo Ball in Australia, right? Wait, hold on. When you saw LaMelo Ball in Australia, Eddie, did you think he was going to be the player he was?
When I saw LaMelo Ball playing in high school,
I knew.
I thought he was legit because that game is USA style. It's New York style. It's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
he's very shifty at that height with a high IQ.
Right. And I knew that he couldn't shoot, but I knew that he was smart. But there was a lot of analysts, and maybe the reason why he went to 3 was because he went and he played in Australia.
Oh, they had him as bust potential.
If he would have played
3.
People were concerned with his shooting.
Pick number 1.
Yeah.
In my eyes, he should have gotten picked number 1 by Minnesota.
It was the team needs, though.
He could have even gotten. In my eyes, he should have been gone by 3, either to Minnesota or to Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
But you know what? Did you hear that story?
The Golden State Warriors are probably kicking themselves right now.
But did you hear that story that Golden State had confirmed an agreement to pick him up? And then all of a sudden, at the last second, they chose Wiseman. And that's why LaVar Ball had that face on draft night, because he was supposed to be a Golden State Warrior.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They should be kicking themselves right now because they would have had their point guard of the future playing with the likes of these guys, Curry and Clay and all these guys.
I personally still think you take Wiseman. It just makes more. It makes more sense. It's just the easier pick.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, I'm not gonna say
like
you're wrong or anything like that. Of course not. You know what I'm saying? Like Minnesota's not wrong for picking, but if you're the person choosing, this is who you would choose, right? So I just wanted to say that, when we're talking about Josh Giddey or we're talking about any of the other players, and entangling it with the Sharif Cooper argument and all these other things. I basically lost my other point because we were talking about, we started talking about this, but yeah, that's all I got to say right now.
I think the point is that we have to fit players that fit the things that we need and the things that we want to do moving forward. I think that's the point.
I think we should just be looking about moving forward. That's where we are at. I don't feel like the core, the team that we have now is going to win a championship.
No way.
Soon. So I feel like we should be looking to put players around RJ and OB and quickly those type of making those type of moves in the first place. So I feel like we should be trying to draft
I'm of the thinking that we already have our starting point guard.
Who?
I don't know why
Yeah,
everybody looks over Emmanuel Quickly as our starting point guard next year. I've been talking about that, Freezer. You know this. I've been saying that for the past 2 months since the season's been over.
Right.
Emmanuel Quickly is my starting point guard next year. Next to RJ Barrett. We're talking about fit, right, guys? We're talking about fit.
Right.
So RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly fit.
Well, I mean, he showed flashes, but he didn't run the point guard officially all the time.
Is Julius Randle going to be on our team next year?
Huh?
Is Julius Randle going to be on our team next year? Most likely, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
So do we have somebody that can maneuver the offense for us? Do we need
but
a prototypical point guard who's going to put everybody in, or do we have somebody that can at least man that job?
No, we do. You do need a prototypical point guard though, because just look at the team.
But do we have somebody on our starting lineup who's basically our best player, who can get the ball at the top of the key and run our offense?
Look at the teams right now in the finals. Booker can do that. Even Giannis can do that, but they still have a typical point guard. But
Devon, are we going to the finals next year? We're working on it.
I'm just saying. Typically, when you build a team, even though you have these playmakers, these guys that can be shooting guards, that can play make and do all this stuff and you still need a point guard. At the end of the day, you still need somebody to be like, all right, this is what I've been doing my whole life.
On the USA Select team. On the USA Select team, who's playing point guard?
We let him go. He doesn't let nobody else go.
No, AFC, you gonna lose that one. Don't lose the. Don't bring that. Don't bring that up because you're gonna lose that one. Because you know who the point guard is. Because it's Emmanuel Quickly.
Why am I gonna lose the argument then?
I knew you gonna go there. I knew you were gonna go there. I knew that's the reason why you brought it up. I knew you were gonna go there.
Wait. ABC, hold on. The same thing. That's like, weren't you just saying the same thing about Sharif Cooper being small, or you just saying about his shooting?
He said a combination of both.
Emmanuel Quickly is smaller than Sharif Cooper.
No, Emmanuel Quickly 6'3".
Quickly 6'3". Yeah, he's 6'3".
I'm talking about he's frail though. Sharif Cooper got a little.
He's
bit more.
not frail. Emmanuel Quickly is not frail. When you talk about power, the first thing you talk about is legs. Have you seen Emmanuel Quickly's legs? He got some strong legs. He needs to build up his upper body, but he's very strong in his lower body. And he can shoot the ball from basically the logo, which stretches the field. So, there's a lot of things to like when you talk about Emmanuel Quickly. That's why if they were redoing the draft, he was a top 10 pick.
I love Quickly, don't get me wrong.
So then why wouldn't you give him a shot?
Because I feel like he's better as a shooting guard, point guard type off the bench. Just personally, I feel like he still can play starter minutes. He definitely can still play.
So he's been 1 year in the league, and you're already putting his ceiling as a 6-man.
I'm not putting him that as a ceiling. I just feel like
so he can't grow. So basically,
did I say
what
that?
you're saying is that
I didn't say.
Yeah, he does that too.
Yeah.
No,
he says things that you said, but it was only him that said it.
But you already have a defined role for him, and he only had 1 year in the
same
league.
thing that you said about those players that can play make and do all this stuff, he can be one of those. But he can't. I don't think he can do it all the time. If you put him on the bench or the 6-man or something where feel like that's where he's going to flourish. That's his right.
Has IQ given you enough evidence to think that he can run a team?
But he doesn't have to run a team fully because Julius Randle is part playmaker, part power forward for our team.
I get you. I definitely get you because I definitely get you. I feel you. And I like Quickly. Don't get me wrong. And I definitely feel like he should be part of our future for sure. Don't get me wrong. But I just personally, if that was the case, then why didn't he start quick? If that was the case, then why didn't Ted start quickly?
Because he's a rookie, because he's still learning. But the experiences now are different. Like he went to a playoff game. He had a pretty good first game in the playoffs.
True.
He went to the USA Select team. He's bonding with all these major players. He's guarding Damian Lillard.
True.
You know what I'm saying? All these players throughout the year have been talking to him.
But
the league players, the top echelon players, like him as a player. They like him. This is all good things for us. These are all good things for us. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to learn from all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's not maybe the prototypical point guard, but Stephen Curry isn't a prototypical point guard, and he's a point guard, right?
Yeah, but Curry reads the floor a lot better than him, though. Like that's a comparison.
He does read the floor a lot better than him, but can you say he is a point guard that play makes and that sets up a team?
No, wait, hold on a second, Devon. My position is that anybody could be a playmaker on a team, so you don't have to restrict it to point guard, shooting guard, small forward. What I'm saying is that does Quickly have that? Does IQ have the ability right now to be starting, work in the pick and roll, get his own shot, set up others, and break down the defense on a consistent basis? He gave you enough evidence that he could do that?
Quickly?
Yes.
It's not like he has to be the best at all.
He never answers the question.
Nah.
Let me finish.
And NEC's defense, though, in NEC's defense, you don't have to have your point guard and Emmanuel Quickly do all that stuff right away. You can teach.
That's what I'm trying to tell him.
Who's doing it?
But here's the thing: you already have Julius Randle as your primary playmaker.
Freezy, you just admitted with us a couple of days now that one of the issues we had against the Hawks was that we didn't have other playmakers.
Right.
That's what you just said.
I know that because I said it.
So now if we start IQ, he doesn't necessarily need to do the things that we need to be done in order to get to the next level.
No, that's so you gotta hear me. You gotta hit me out on it. What I'm saying is you can bring Quickly along, training him to do that, and eventually my man will develop into that guy, or can develop into that guy, right? But what I'm saying is too, is just because you give Quickly those duties doesn't mean that you can't add another veteran point guard to your roster. Ideally, that's what you want to do. If you're looking at Quickly, you're definitely looking long term, because Quickly is not a long term. I mean, a short term. Quickly is not your win championship.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible next 5-10 years. Right.
But what I'm saying is this: the Knicks can't be in win now mode because we don't have enough win now pieces.
Absolutely.
In order to win a championship.
That's what I'm getting at.
So if you recognize that, then what you should be thinking is, well, since we're not in win now, how do we develop guys into the pieces that we need so that when we do get in win now mode, they'll be ready?
Absolutely.
That's why I agree with Eddie C some, and that's why I agree with y'all some. But what I'm saying is it can't be all or nothing.
Right, and that's why if he's off the bench playing, he can do both. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he starts or not.
So who's your starting point guard? So you're the New York Knicks. Who's your starting point guard?
If I'm the New York Knicks, me?
We haven't finished our offseason yet in order to answer that question.
It's Jeff T.
But go ahead.
It's Jeff T. That's the situation that a lot of Knicks fans want. They want a Jeff T type, a stopgap point, another stopgap point guard, and they want Derrick Rose off the bench playing limited minutes, and then they want a young guy on the bench that can be mentored by both.
I want Lonzo. That's who I would personally. I feel like that's the perfect.
People want Lonzo. People want Kyle Lowry.
I feel like Lonzo is the perfect point guard, so we can start quickly.
I'm just saying his questions are hypothetical because we don't have that solidified at the moment.
Right. But personally, I feel like Lonzo's the best point guard that we can not even point guard, player that we can pick up that will allow us to start Emmanuel Quickly how you want at shooting guard. To me personally, I feel like he's best at shooting guard where he can score, where he's a scorer. Now, if we had Lonzo, he can kind of.
When I saw Emmanuel Quickly play, I think he was most dangerous when he had the ball in his hand.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So then, if you're a shooting guard, you're usually not the one with
So
the
if you
ball in
started
your
with
hand.
Julius Randle, you're not putting the ball.
That's not true. There's a lot of shooting guards today that play in the pick and roll and are set options and stuff like that. So that's not true.
Obviously, when you make a comment, there are going to be exceptions to whatever you say. So you know what I'm saying? Like if I say it's blue, you can say no, it's sky blue.
You're making a definitive statement and saying that two guards don't really run the ball like that, and I'm saying that's not true, and a lot of examples can be drawn from that.
There's a lot of two guards there's a lot of two guards, but primarily two guards don't run the ball like that. Your point guard is the one that should be running the ball like that. If you have a point forward, he's probably the one that should be running the ball like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
To do that though.
Right. What happened? I couldn't hear you.
You want our power forward to do that though.
Well, our power forward is good at that already though.
He's okay at it.
He's okay.
He's not.
To be honest with you, there should be 3 players on the court at all time that should be able to handle the ball and make.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And RJ Barrett hasn't shown it as much, but in college, he was one of those types of players. And I'm hoping that he's gonna find that again.
He has to evolve that this year, without a doubt.
But at the beginning, when we drafted RJ Barrett, there was a lot of people that were thinking of him like a Luka, who can say, "Oh, we could put the ball in RJ Barrett's hands, and we just need a point guard who can shoot next to him."
Who said that?
Obviously, he hasn't grown into that. But dude, I'm not talking about. I said a lot of people. I didn't say you directly.
I know you didn't say me. I was just saying who in the basketball world said that about RJ. That was his consensus coming out.
Of course, it was a consensus coming out because when RJ Barrett played at Duke, he was half a playmaker. If you watched him at Duke, he was a player that had the ball in his hands a lot, and he didn't exhibit that in the NBA at the moment.
Nobody said he had a Luka type of running offense potential. Nobody said that.
There's people to this day that still think that RJ can run the point.
Okay, good for them.
I get what you're saying, but it's more like he's not running the point. See, like that's like the thing, like you know what I mean? It's positionless basketball, but you're still a hole on the court. You feel me? Like,
So let me. I just want to stop y'all right here and point out something real quick, right? So y'all are criticizing Julius Randle, right, for being a playmaker, right? And Julius Randle at power forward was 20th in the NBA in assists.
We understand that. Yeah, that's what we say. He's good. He's good.
He's good at
Who said that?
And so Eddie, see, this is one place where we use metrics to kind of prove an argument, not reinforce it, but just introduce a number. Julius Randle
obviously could be part of the argument. Obviously, yes.
Right. So Julius Randle was 20th in the NBA in assists. Mm-hmm. So if we say, you know, Julius Randle can't do such and such, blah blah blah, there is a number out there. Like for instance, Devon, would you agree that Damian Lillard is an excellent playmaker and assist man?
Yes, he is. And you said this before. You said that Portland was like last in the league, right?
In assists.
Damian Lillard, he averaged like 8 assists of.
Right.
So how can you say he's not a good playmaker?
So I'm not. So what I'm saying is Damian Lillard. And I'm not saying Damian Lillard is not a good playmaker, but Damian Lillard averaged 2 more assists and 4 more points than Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And so what we're talking about is the difference. What did the Portland Trailblazers power forward provide in that same situation?
That's a whole different team.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's not, because what I'm saying
is because
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Y'all not listening. Y'all are dug in y'all argument. Y'all are dug in y'all argument. What I'm saying is would you take Emmanuel Quickly's production and Julius Randle's production over Damian Lillard's production and the Portland Trailblazers power forward production?
What was the power forward, Melo or Robert Covington?
I don't know.
What's the usage rate compared to Julius Randle's? Like you got
the point of it is the Portland Trailblazers power forward his impact was not significant enough to even be in the conversation. You don't even know his name.
I do know his name.
Oh boy.
I do know his name, but does Julius Randle have the ball in his hands a lot?
Yeah, they want their power forward to be Zach Collins. That's who they want their power forward.
No,
to be.
I don't mind what Julius does. Come on, Freezy, stop doing that.
No,
stop doing that. I don't mind what he does, but what we're saying is that, as you saw for yourself, we need more playmakers.
Right.
That's all we saying. We're not saying that Julius can't be a playmaker.
No, but this is not just about Julius. It's about what Eddie
you made it about Julius.
No, yeah. Okay. So y'all are swinging and missing at what I'm saying. Eddie C emphasized Emmanuel Quickly as the starting point guard.
Correct.
And then y'all said, well, he doesn't do such and such and such and such.
I didn't say he didn't do anything.
And then I brought up Julius Randle. I was like, Julius Randle and Emmanuel Quickly can be complementary to each other.
Yes.
Right? As opposed to, say, a Damian Lillard who's ball dominant and is not complementary to anybody.
That wasn't my argument. My argument
the argument is that you need a Damian Lillard type point guard or Chris Paul type point guard to win a championship. And mind you, Chris Paul has never won an NBA championship.
I said you need a point guard. So let's go back.
Y'all say conventional.
No, I said playmakers come in all shapes and sizes. So that's not true.
Yeah, you're right.
So who's the point guard on the Golden State Warriors? And they're
who's really directing the offense and getting guys in their places? Draymond Green.
Steph Curry is the point guard.
All right.
They run that.
But they've been
Draymond
a dynasty
is a luxury.
Draymond
is a luxury.
But you can say that they're the last dynasty of the NBA.
That is a luxury. To have somebody on your team like Draymond is a luxury. Every team don't.
It's the way the team is built. It's the way the team is built. When they drafted Stephen Curry, they realized that he wasn't Chris Paul. They realized that he wasn't these playmaking guards. He was a shooter who was best utilized as a running screener who can shoot, who can dribble the ball and could get into the lane. He also has great vision. But to say that we're going to give the ball to Stephen Curry and make him a primary ball handler, that wasn't his best position.
Okay.
So what did they do? They drafted a shooting guard who can shoot, who can also stretch the floor so that one can stay on one side and the other can stay on the other side. And then they drafted a power forward who can play make.
That's a luxury.
I think the Julius, not Julius Randle. I'm sorry. I think the Draymond Green was the accidental find. I don't think they were looking. I don't think they were looking for him.
Because don't forget, Draymond didn't come out of college with that reputation.
Right. Draymond Green got a triple double against Gonzaga where he scored 30-something points, and people were like, "Yo, this kid Draymond Green can play." He not all lip, because you remember Draymond Green was the lippy guy at Michigan State, the guy you want to punch in the face every time you played him. You like, man, if he come over here, I'm gonna punch him. That was Draymond Green, right? He was just a hustle guy, and then come to find out, he had all these skills. Golden State refined his craft. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't like.
But to me, just to say that, to disregard Emmanuel Quickly as the starting point guard and having a Julius Randle in place is just not. It's
too soon. You only have 1 year of Quickly. You can't judge them on 1 year.
But they fit. When you're talking about a team and how you want to build it, Emmanuel Quickly and Julius Randle fit. R.J. Barrett fits in between those guys.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Emmanuel Quickly stretches the floor well enough where he can stretch the floor for Julius Randle. That's what we never had last year.
I agree. I think he definitely fits with them, but just not as a starting ball handler.
What we need now is a small forward who has length. You know, a 6'8", 6'9" small forward who we can put into the small forward slot so that R.J. Barrett doesn't have to play the three.
And now we're at an
advantage. Now R.J. Barrett does the physical.
And you want to go Trey Murphy the third if you're going that route. If you're taking that pick.
I like Zaire Williams and Trey Murphy, but somebody around that. Somebody around that
Hey,
age.
Zaire is 188, man.
And doesn't really play great defense.
Yeah.
I
I like Zaire too, by the way. I just don't.
But he stretches the floor and he's smart and he's 6'8". So he
But
can get the ball.
Trey Murphy was better from the field than Zaire, and he was better in catch and
But
shoot.
Zaire is younger. He has a little bit more potential than Troy Murphy.
Okay.
So, I don't think Zaire Williams is going to be there. Troy Murphy has jumped into our landing area.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Because Troy Murphy was. Yeah, go ahead.
So are you go back? I mean, I know it's Knicks, Knicks Nation and all that, but are you telling me that you don't feel like Steph Curry can play point? Is not a typical point guard, a prototypical point guard? If he was,
he can play point guard. He can play point guard, but to maximize his potential, I would rather see him running off those screens and shooting those threes than having the ball in his hands. Then yes,
he can do them both though. But I just don't like the way you said it. You kind of like discredited him, like he couldn't do it at all. Like you kind of
yeah. No, I'm not discrediting.
But Dame Lillard is like that too, though. Dame Lillard is like that too.
You have to put the players in the best position possible for them to succeed.
Right, and okay, that's true. So you don't feel like Quickly's best position right now to succeed would be like a 6-man, playing one or the two guard right now?
I can see him at the two starting.
What I see right now at this moment is that we don't have one point guard on our team.
What about Luka? Luka Vildoza.
Luka's a point guard, right? And I like Luka. I like Luka a lot. But obviously,
do you think that will change by the time preseason starts?
What, the point guard position?
Yeah, the point guard situation. Yeah.
Yes, I do, but I don't think it's going to be to the extent that a lot of us Knicks fans think. Like, I don't see the Knicks splurging on Lonzo Ball.
Me either.
I don't see them paying $20 million on X amount of player, this and there. I don't see that happening.
Why not?
Me either.
Why not?
Because you're overpaying. You're overpaying Lonzo Ball if you're giving him $20 million.
And here's the other problem, Devon, with Lonzo. He doesn't address the need of a guy that can make for himself and make for others.
Right.
That's why you have Quickly.
So why would you pay Lonzo?
So why am I going to pay Lonzo $20 million then?
They work hand in hand together. He's a bigger player. He can guard. Lonzo can guard whoever Quickly can't guard. And then Lonzo can also be a point guard, and you can allow Quickly to still run off screens and shoot off the dribble, or Quickly can play make, and Lonzo can spot up and shoot threes, and that's what Lonzo does good on offense.
Yo, guys, I gotta run. I got a lot of things I gotta do. I actually, overstayed a little bit, man. I had to do a little quick, but because the conversation was so interesting, man. But I gotta run, man. Salute to you guys. Hope I could come back in the night, man, and talk some more Knicks, man. Great talk, guys. Talk to you later.
So we'll be here. All right, boss. All right.
So, Devon, so you're saying that what would your starting lineup be if you had Lonzo? It would be Lonzo, who else? Quickly at the 2, RJ.
Julius, and Mitch.
What if you pick, let's just say, for example, we pick up Trey Murphy the 3rd. We're not starting him?
I mean, he don't got to start. Why does he just because you pick him high, he has to start?
No, I don't think that. I just think that it's a giant need because I think RJ will have a little trouble defending threes.
Why would he?
Yeah.
I don't think he's strong enough. And RJ's strong.
But that's
one. RJ's strong.
Strong though.
But the thing with that though is, do you really want to go max reps every day? Do you really want to bench press every day? You want to you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that every day.
How big is? Give me RJ's measurables again.
6'7".
Run them by me.
And then you have to get the weight.
Yeah. So he's 6'6", 215, 214. Right. But what I'm telling
at
Devon,
8,
I'm telling Devon is,
you mean to tell me he can't play small forward? Come on, guys.
Bro, what I'm telling you is,
I can't hear you. I can't. Hold on. I'm gonna leave and come back because I can't hear you.
Okay. So what I'm telling Devon is this. just because he's big doesn't mean that we want him to bang, right? It's the reason why Julius Randle don't play small ball 5.
And there's also another reason why, Freezy, that Thibodeau never really put RJ at that 3 too much this year.
Man, y'all. So we playing positionless basketball, or we playing basketball with positions? Like I just want to, I want to know which. You feel me? It got to be one way or the other.
I'm just saying.
2 and 3 are so interchangeable. It's the same.
I agree.
No. It's not the same thing if you don't have a. It's not the same thing if you don't have a point guard.
But you said Randall was our point guard. You just said
no. I didn't. I said he was 20th in the league in assists.
You said he was a playmaker, right?
He is. So is Jokic. Does that make him a point guard?
He's a playmaker. No, I'm saying we're talking about.
Is Jokic a point guard? Is Jokic a point guard?
This is what I'm saying, Uncle Freezy. We're in the age of.
I just wonder if Jokic is a point guard. Is Nikola Jokic a point guard?
Somebody. Listen to what I'm saying.
I just asked a specific question. Okay,
we know the answer though.
Right.
Yeah, you know the answer. You just want to hear your answer. This is what I'm trying to say. We're in the age of positionless basketball. Am I correct? Right?
No, it depends
to a certain degree.
It depends on what offense and defense you run. That's what I'm telling you. Positionless basketball depends on the offense and defense you run. We run a heavy, high post up offense with Julius Randle, and when Randle is off the floor, then we run continuity screen offense. And the continuity screen offense on the second unit, it may be more positional, but with Randle on the floor, we run a high post offense. Right?
Which it will be like a positionless offense. Am I correct?
No, you're not correct. Listen to what I'm saying. So in a high post up offense, you do not go positionless. Right? You need certain skill sets on the floor.
That doesn't
make but
what?
Bro, okay.
Uncle Freezy.
Are you telling me? So you're telling me
you're on a high post offense, right? So who's the point guard?
Alfred Payton.
Okay. Who's the playmaker?
Playmaker is not a defined position.
That's my point.
I'm telling you. Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, teams don't just say, "Hey, we're gonna be positionless." Everybody just run around and get sweaty. Teams run intricate offenses that are designed in the offseason for them to take advantage of the roster that they have set. They don't just say, "Hey, we're gonna get everybody's gonna be 6'7", and everybody's gonna run around and get sweaty." That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? How it works.
For you to argue with me that the 2 and the 3 aren't the same thing, that's kind of crazy right here.
They could be interchangeable depending on your roster.
Interchangeable. That's like the same. I can see the point guard and the power forward.
And what offense? In what offense are they interchangeable? To break it down, because I don't know basketball, so break it down. Break it down. Just tell me what you're running. Tell me what sets you're gonna run out of it. Tell me what offense and what sets.
It's your show. You got it. It's your show.
Nah. For one, it's our show. But what I'm saying is, you can't just say we can't just throw stuff on the thing and see if it'll stick. Now I understand it works in certain
circumstances, right?
Positionless will work, right? Positionless will work.
It's not like a standard,
right? But if positionless basketball works,
it's the standard now, though.
Okay, so if positionless basketball works, how come the Phoenix Suns are in the NBA Finals with a traditional point guard?
I never said you. I'm the one who said you need a traditional point guard. Still, though, that's what I said. Still, though, I said anybody can be the playmaker, the point guard, but when it's time, you still need a point guard. I've been saying that the whole time. So that's what I'm saying. Your argument with me doesn't make any sense. You're just trying to argue with me for your pleasure.
No, I'm not arguing. No, I'm arguing with you because what you're saying don't make sense.
You've been saying the same thing. You're talking about Julius Randle being a playmaker, a point guard. We're saying the same thing.
I didn't say Julius Randle was a point guard. Some Jokic is a point guard too.
Let's use the Phoenix Suns example, right? On defense, they could be like Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges, right? Could be interchangeable between that 3 and 4 and the 2 on defense. But on offense, it's a little bit more structured, as in where Mikal would be that 3 and Jay would be that 4. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying like it
That's
is
still
circumstances.
because it's 50-50. That's still, you feel me? It's still going both ways. That's still 50.
No, because Mikal Bridges can't play center.
But you
Right.
have
Mikal Bridges
hold
can't play,
on.
so it's not positionless.
Like Ben Simmons, who's 6'10", who can play center, then you can play. That's my point. Yes, it does depend on who you got on your team. I'm not stupid. I'm not saying like, oh, he's 6'4", he can play center. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you have the talent and the roster to do that, there's certain stuff that you can do. And RJ being a shooting guard or a small forward,
Which is circumstantial.
Same thing. He is 6'7", 220 pounds. Why can he not play small forward in today's NBA? Please tell me.
He could. I never said he couldn't.
What we are saying, all three of us are saying that RJ Barrett can play small forward, but why have him there full time, getting banged up when you depend on his offense at the other end?
And that's why you have other players and you fill out the roster and you have a rotation.
So you're going to take the number 3 pick in the draft and waste him on certain things, and then go get another guy. So we're going to move Julius Randle to the 5 also.
Why not? We need to play Obi. We can play small sometimes.
Oh God, poor Julius will be eaten up at the 5.
That's what I'm saying. Just because guys have the size to do it, don't mean.
Did I say run Julius at the center 48 minutes? No, I didn't say that at all. That's what you're taking me what I'm saying as. Just because Quickly doesn't start at point guard, don't mean he ain't gonna finish at point guard. Don't mean he ain't gonna finish the game there.
Right. Just
because RJ start at small forward, don't mean he's gonna be playing his whole 36, 37 minutes at the small forward position. It's rotation, and you know that. And you know that.
I would rather just get a guy there. I would rather get a guy and just start him there. For example, I'll give you an example. Right. What I would do instead of putting RJ Barrett there in that situation where you're saying interchangeable guys, what I would do is sign 2 guys, and I'm gonna throw out their names, and it'll probably sound funky, but I would sign Derrick Jones Jr. and Gerald Green, 2 veteran athletes.
Gerald Green.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, just hit me out on it. just hit me out on it. Just for this example, right? So guys with length that are athletic, right? Two guys that can jump out the gym. 2 guys super athletic and fast. I'll put those 2 guys there and rotate them, as opposed to putting my prized possession, the franchise, in that spot. You know what I'm saying? I just put them 2 guys there and let them rock. Both of those guys are 6'6", 6'7", super athletes that you can rotate in that spot. And then when you take RJ off the floor, Gerald Green can play the 2, Derrick Jones can play the 3, right? I would rather do that than put our prized possession there and then have them miss time with like a hot ankle sprain, because we already saw this, but we already saw this in RJ Barrett rookie year. We saw this already where they put Alonzo
in any position. That doesn't yet
right, but why increase the likelihood?
You switch on defense, you could end up sticking a small.
Not only do you switch, but the offense dictates who you gonna guard, especially in transition. Right, because in transition, you got to get the closest man. It don't matter who he is, right? Somebody got to stop the ball, and then you got to pick up somebody in transition. You got to put a man. You got a body on body in transition. So what I'm saying is Fizdale already tried this thing. Well, we'll play RJ at the 3 along with Alonzo Trier and was it Damian Dotson? I think it was like Damian Dotson at the 2 or something crazy. But it was crazy. Man, just RJ at the 2, man. Come on.
I'm just saying it's circumstantial, and depending on the game, circumstances can change, and you could move those pieces around depending what works best. But to say at the same time that everything's just set in stone like that sounds a little bit non-bendable, especially in such an NBA that we live in today.
That's basically what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying right there.
I just don't want it to be the long term. I don't want it to be the long term plan. I think I don't want it to be the long term plan. Like for instance, I like RJ Barrett at small forward against small teams, right? Like
Right.
when we played the Washington
Like when we play
Wizards.
Cleveland, we don't even, like post, put them at the 2, yeah, and post Sexton or Garland up. You know what I mean? Yeah, but other than that, the 2 or 3 are kind of interchangeable to me. Like I feel like Reggie Bullock is more of a shooting guard than RJ Barrett. If we want to be, typical.
Why? Because of his handles and passing ability?
Oh.
Who?
Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock handles court vision
I'm
and
just
passing
saying
ability is why he's a guard.
I feel like to me.
He has those things?
Hold on. To me personally, I feel like the small forward should be the person on the court who does it, who can do a little bit of everything. That can play almost all the, do a little bit of everything. And that's what I feel like RJ is.
Right.
I feel, you know what I mean? I feel like the shooting guard should be to shoot. You know what I mean? To mostly be a shooter. Some type of shooting. If it's off screens, if it's just catch and shoot, whatever it is. But I feel like the small forward, in my eyes, how I thought of basketball, how it was taught to me, you know what I mean? The small forward kind of should be able to do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? He should be able to shoot, dribble, rebound. That's how I feel. That's what I see in RJ Barrett. I see he's an all-around player. So I don't feel like his position shouldn't be defined as just a shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
I'm with you.
Like, can he play point guard? No, but can he play the 2 or the 3? Yeah, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's how I felt about Quickly when that whole discussion started. I felt like to exclusively call him a point guard, it's just strange. Like, I just think that Quickly's at a pace right now. Like, I don't know what he did during the summer. Like, I can't tell you how he's coming into next year, right? But what I can tell you, based on what I saw, is that there are spot minutes that he can run the offense, he can run the pick and roll, and there's spot minutes where he could put him on a wing. So, I mean, it's just a matter. But what I'm saying is that what we need to get moving forward is guys that can play make for themselves and play make for others at a steady clip, not this inconsistent stuff.
True.
So that's why I think we should be shooting for players like that, not just go ahead and put somebody in from last year that was kind of inconsistent with that. Now the coaching staff only knows whether he's completely evolved in that, and that's something that we'll see. And the same thing with RJ. But as of right now, based on what we saw, that is not available.
Right.
Yeah. So that wraps that up.
I mean, I just feel like we need. Do you feel like we should take a point guard or center? Which position do you feel like we need more?
You see, this is what I was getting at. Look, like I said, I would take Sharif, but I don't care as long as we address the fact that we get guys that can play make for themselves and others. Can we use like an Isaiah Jackson? Can we use an Isaiah Jackson? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes.
I feel like personally, this is like, I feel like the best and worst thing that happened to us was the play of Julius Randle last year.
Okay. Right. Go ahead. State your reasons.
I feel like it put the franchise and Knicks fans, it put us all in a weird space. Like,
yeah, like where do we go?
Yeah,
right.
like we kinda, where do we go from here? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, do we try to go win because we were in the 4th seed and we seen that, Atlanta made it, we could almost get there if we had pieces. Right. Or do we, go with the youth because the youth is kind of what kind of brought us there, and do we go that way? So I feel like that's why I feel like last season was kind of like and Julius's play was like a blessing and a curse at the same time because it kind of put us like, like if we would have sucked last year, we would have known like, okay, draft.
Total draft.
Yeah, Kate Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, we're going with the youth, something like that. But Julius playing so good and, he improved in so much, even at like the point forward position, it kind of like, well, damn, do we build around him or do we, Yeah.
And I hear you. Go ahead, Freezy.
Well, what I was going to get at, man, is what we should be looking at as Knicks fans is that the culture is more important than a run at a championship in this moment.
Right. True.
In this moment that we're
in,
a winning culture is more important than taking a shot at a championship.
Absolutely.
Because think about it. If we traded away, say we traded away Randall and RJ and Quickly and Obi and everybody just to get, say, a run at a championship. Say we bring in a bunch of
I got you. Dame Lillard, Bradley Beal. I get what you're saying. That would be 2 or 3 years, and that would be done.
Right, and then we'd be in a whole bunch of salary cap hell, no draft picks, and then when that short window is over, now you got to do another rebuild. Now you got to bring in your Mario Hezonjas again. You got to bring in your Emmanuel, what's his name, Emmanuel Mudiay. You got to bring in them guys again and reset the franchise again.
Yeah. And Freezy, how many times have we done that? Wait, hold on, Devon. Freezy, how many times have we done that in the past 20 years?
That was our MO.
Right. So now,
go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was just saying was that, so now that we know what booby trap not to go in now.
Right.
Because right now we're at the fork of the road of that. And that's why I don't understand people saying, get this guy, get Lowry, get Lonzo, no.
Trade everything for Damian Lillard.
Yeah, this is the traps we've been in before. And what have I discussed the whole week, Freezy, and saying that how teams have longevity in championship runs or championship contention runs is building the core of their roster through the draft. We're still in acquisition phase. We still need to build our roster.
Right, and not only. And see, here's the caveat. Here is the secret sauce to talent acquisition. Talent acquisition doesn't mean players on your roster. Talent acquisition also means getting the right people and getting right people in your front office.
Yes.
Finding parents. You're getting your Brock Allers. Like getting
starts from the top to the bottom.
Right. Getting the draft guru. Right. Getting the capologist, the number one capologist in the game, right? Getting the assistant coaches that understand in-game adjustments and the one that's innovative on offense. So you got to, because all these guys won't be the same person. It's got to be a collaborative effort, right? And so it's the reason why I'm mad at the Knicks for making Mike Miller the interim head coach instead of Caleb Canales. Because and so here's the thing, people don't know that Caleb Canales was on our roster.
Yeah, I know.
He is the author and originator of Dame Time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yep. But he sat by Terry Stotts and was like, listen.
But don't forget, Freezy, that was a different regime.
I know. I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying about Caleb Canales. Like what I would have done, should he have been the head coach of the Knicks going forward? No, you still got to take Tom Thibodeau, right? But by getting Caleb Canales, right, you at least say, hey, Caleb, listen, stay on the staff with us,
right?
Because we need a young point guard, and if you offer Dame Time in Portland, Oregon, you can the next point guard we get, you can tell us who you want. And which are the traits that you're looking for, so that you can build up this guy in New York.
And they should have Tibbs,
but But instead they were like, Mike Miller made Alonzo Trier look like a star in the G League. We're gonna promote him to coach. And now, not only is Alonzo Trier gone, but Mike Miller is gone as well.
Yep. And I'm sure if this regime was in there, I think Caleb would have had a different perspective.
Right.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying though.
All you had to do was not. It's like Devon. Like me and Devon might disagree on some stuff, but Devon know I love having him around because his perspective is different and it challenges us to think.
Absolutely.
The dude makes us think outside the box.
Yeah.
So that's why every time I see him in the chat, I poke at him like, "Hey, what you doing? What you doing?" You know,
right. We all want to look at the sun from different perspectives. We don't want to be in the same place, right?
Right. And it's the same thing with a Caleb Canales. You don't ruin a relationship with a guy that's a talent. That's a legit NBA talent. Now he's not going to be a star point guard, but he can turn a guy with star potential into a star point guard. But now he's gone, right? Now he's gone. Now you don't have Mike Miller. You don't have Keith Sweat. You don't have none of them guys, right? And Caleb Canales probably had the most potential of anybody on that staff. Right. And now that relationship is ruined.
Right. Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, in this talent acquisition mode, you can look at your Walt Perrins. Like Walt Perrin is a walking encyclopedia of how to do your draft. And just by us going and getting a Walt Perrin, let us know that we in serious business now.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And by us plucking Johnny Bryant, who helped turn Donovan Mitchell into a star. Would Donovan Mitchell been a star anyway? Yes. But Johnny Bryant helped him along the way.
Right. And that's Donovan's words. We're not just like making stuff up.
Right. And so now the Knicks acquired that talent, to what D is saying. We were in talent acquisition mode across the board. Right. So I just want to say that so that when we go forward, we don't think if we don't get Sharif Cooper, it's a failure. Nah, I like Cooper. I agree. Cooper, but I also like the course that the Knicks are on in terms of talent.
Me too. Yeah, and that's why I don't think we're going to head towards what we've done in the last 20 years because of that office makeup and that coaching staff.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. It's just I just feel like we are in a weird state because I wouldn't feel bad or wrong for either. Like going either direction with the team.
What would you rather do though?
I honestly rather build to the draft.
There you go.
I think we should trade Julius to keep it 100.
Oh damn! Unpopular opinion.
I really do.
I would do it too, but
here's why: we're not winning a championship with Julius at all.
Nope.
We're not winning one no time soon.
But I build them up to now. I can get a lot of pieces now.
And now I can go get some more assets and some more draft picks and some more young players and keep going and just keep going into a cycle until we find the time.
And I can keep quickly. I can keep Obi. I'll keep RJ. Right. I can keep Mitch.
Right. Exactly. This is what I would do. It's out of the box. It sounds like some fantasy 2K, trade type stuff, but I would try to trade them to the Warriors. And I would try to get the 7th pick and maybe Wiseman and
that 14th. You gotta give me that 14th too.
Yeah, I would trade Julius R19 and R21 to them and Mitch.
Oh, I want to keep the 21.
And you know what they're going to tell you? You know what they're going to tell you, right? You have to take on Draymond Green's contract and Andrew Wiggins.
I would take Wiggins on, but I don't know if I would take on
Draymond.
You got to.
I feel you. I get it, and that's
because the reason why I say that, not to cut you off, but the reason why I say that is because the Golden State Warriors are multiple time tax offenders over the cap. Right?
Oh yeah.
So right now they're at $84 million. That number balloons to $450 million if they don't get under the cap. That's what they're gonna have to pay the NBA. $450 million for being a multiple time abuser of the salary cap. Right? So Golden State is motivated to get rid of the salary. They gotta get under 112 because if they don't, they're gonna have to pay. Their owner, think about this, their owner is going to have to pay 1/5 of their franchise worth in order to go over the salary cap again. Is it worth it? 1/5 of what your franchise is worth, you're going to have to pay that to the NBA in tax money. Is it worth it?
If they win a championship, yeah.
Yeah. But if they don't,
then no.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. Is it worth it? Some of these things are calculated risk, and I think Golden State took a calculated risk last year or this season that just passed, and it backfired. Right. So as soon as Klay Thompson got hurt, you're like, oh God, dog it. But do we waste another year of Steph Curry's prime? That's the question they had to face.
Agreed.
And so they were like, yo, you can't waste Steph Curry's prime. Right? Because there's nothing worse than having an all-time great, one of the greatest players. I think by the time it's all said and done, Steph Curry will be a top 15 player of all time. Right? Top 15. Okay. Right? And we can debate that in either direction, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm saying to y'all is you can't waste that. Right? It's the reason. It's the reason why. It's the reason why Michael Jordan retired, because the Bulls got tired of spending so much money, even though they were winning championships. They were like, "Yeah, we just can't continue to do this." So Mike was like, "Man, I'll retire first before I be out here playing with Mario Hezonja and Emmanuel Mudiay." You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with Steph Curry. Like, do I really want to sign back here if y'all not gonna be winning the championship? I already tasted the champagne. I've been league MVP. I've done all these things. And now when I turn 32, y'all want me to come out here and play with James Wiseman and Kelly Oubre?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they they have some serious decisions to make. Yep. And the Knicks do too. Because the Knicks are like, we have
perfect marriage.
Yeah, we have an all-star, all-NBA power forward that not only averaged 10 rebounds a game, but he shot 40% from three.
Right.
How often do you see that? You never see, or you barely ever see, a guy average 10 rebounds a game,
right,
and shoot 40% from three, and average 6 assists.
Right.
Right.
You rarely see that. Is Julius Randle a perfect fit for the Golden State Warriors? Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know. So I'm in a situation. I'm in the mindset that I don't want to trade Julius for the sake of trading Julius. I don't believe in just giving away talent just for the sake of giving away. Because in the Golden State Warriors scenario, you're like, just trade him to Golden State, and then you're like, well, what do we get back? Right? What do we get in return? Do we get an all NBA player? A dude that averaged 24 points a game, 10 rebounds, 40% from 3, 6 assists?
Yeah.
Do we get that in a return package? Because if we're just getting promises and potential, it don't make sense, in my opinion, because this franchise finished 4th in the East. It could have been 6th, but we finished 4th, right? Because of tiebreakers, right? Mm-hmm. And we trade Julius Randle for promises and potential and miss the playoffs next year, then I believe it sets the franchise back 5 years.
And
wow, really 5?
Yeah.
Okay, but Uncle Freezy, at the same time, then that's why I keep saying that last season was a curse. Because what if we didn't make the playoffs last year, and Julius still put up similar numbers?
Then the conversation is different,
right?
Yeah, the conversation is different.
Exactly.
Then we'll say Julius Randle is not the guy. Right. Then it's easier for you to put that. Yeah, but we can't say trade Julius so that Obi Toppin can start.
No, I'm not saying that for him.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general. I'm saying in general, you can't say trade Julius Randle so Obi Toppin can start. Obi can put up similar production. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can't. Oh, go ahead, man.
Behind that is I don't want to give Julius Randle a 5-year,
right.
$60 million
That's my concern.
Because he deserves it. Because he deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell him no. I can't look the other way. Like, the man is balling. He deserves it. And now we're stuck with Julius Randle until he's 34, 35. You know what I mean? That's just hard. That's just a hard pill for me to swallow.
Well, what I'm going to say, State of the New York Knicks podcast says.
He doesn't like Julius Randle.
Yeah, I think he's wrong though. State is wrong. What I'd like to tell State is that he averaged those numbers. Think about what I'm about to say, man. He averaged those numbers with these people on the floor: Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, and Nerlens Noel.
Maybe that's why he won't average those numbers next season.
No, I think if you put just say for instance, if you put Bradley Beal on the floor with him, or Miles Turner, say Bradley Beal and Miles Turner in those two spots, right? And you keep Elfrid Payton. I think Julius Randle's numbers go up. I think he averages 20.
Less rebounds, less points.
Nah. I think those numbers go up. And the reason why is because, and hear me out, and I'm going to back out of the way, right? Julius Randle shot about 45% because he was double teamed the third most times in the NBA. Can you imagine Julius Randle in a one-on-one situation against another team's power forward every night?
No, he was eating them up. I'm not gonna lie.
Eating them up. Did you see the game in LA against Anthony Davis? He ate Anthony Davis alive. Anthony Davis was wanting to call for a double team, but his pride wouldn't let him do it. And Julius Randle was roasting him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And as a matter of fact, I can pull up the numbers from that game. I don't feel like it, but I can. What I'm saying is this. Don't sleep on Julius. We look at Julius Randle as if he's a journeyman cast-off guy that got lucky, fortunate that he got to the Knicks and just got opportunity.
No, I don't see him. I don't think we see him that way, Freezy.
Not you. I'm saying in general. The general consensus is Julius Randle. He got lucky. He came to New York, man. Blah blah blah. Nah, man.
Nah.
The cat has
I mean, that's a little sprinkle of it, though. That's a little sprinkle of it.
Yeah, but the cat has improved every year. He was the number 7 pick in his draft for a reason.
Yeah.
And he's improved every year of his career.
Yeah. That's what I say. It's a little sprinkle of it, but he does have the cachet to back up, what he's become. He does have the resume to back up what he's become. So I do believe in Julius. I just feel like he's gonna be in the.
My thing with Julius is that I just don't feel that he's our number one moving forward. Yeah, that's my main concern. And then with that, then how do we pay him? How do we build the team around him? Do we neglect development? Do we neglect certain things in the draft? Like, I think those are the biggest questions that revolve around Julius and what makes it so polarizing.
Yeah. I think we got to stay flexible for 2022.
And a powerful, 6'8", 6'9", 250, 60-pound power forward who can play make. It's kind of hard to build around that. It's different. It's different, I should say. It's different.
So let's use an example, right? Like Jokic, right? We'll just use that as a comparison because he's a big man that operates a lot from the high post and in the perimeter. He needs a Jamal Murray.
Yes.
In order to fully unlock what he really can do.
No, I don't think he needs a Jamal Murray in that aspect, but I think he needs a Jamal Murray
as like a sidekick.
As a side, like, all right.
But Jamal's been more than that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
Jamal
you need like a guard that's at your level to get in the big. Like Joel Embiid needs a guard that's like at his level. You know what I'm saying? Like a guard that creates shot and do what he can.
So this was my point. I didn't want to get into whether Jokic needs Murray. My point was that Julius, if they're going to operate in that fashion, they need a guard. They need a playmaker that could get his own shot and could create for others on a consistent basis. They need it.
You need somebody that's better or at least on the same caliber of Julius. Yes, I do.
Right.
On that.
Absolutely.
Long term. That can do it every night. Because Rose can do it, but he can't do it every game, every night.
24-year-old Rose, no injuries. We wouldn't even be having this discussion right now.
Right. You just bringing up that game, man. Julius Randle had 31 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds. Right.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis had like 21 points or something. Yeah, Anthony Davis had 20 points and 6 rebounds.
Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Julius is he's a baller.
But I'm gonna show you something else from that game because somebody said put RJ Barrett at the 3. Put RJ Barrett at the 3. Y'all remember this is the Kyle Kuzma game. You remember Kyle Kuzma roasted RJ Barrett. He had 18 points in the first half. Y'all remember that?
That was a good game from Kuzma. Kuzma don't do that every night.
Yeah, because he don't play RJ Barrett every night.
Kuzma.
Wow, crazy! Come on, man.
No, Kuzma sucks. Uncle Freeze, you know I'm an LA kid. Kuzma sucks.
Yeah, bro, what I'm saying is Kyle Kuzma had 18 points in the first half. It was so bad that Tibbs was like, Frank, help! Y'all remember that? He ran down to the
RJ's problem is he was getting backdoored a lot, and he was playing against LeBron James, who was catching him and letting Kuzma go backdoor.
Yeah, hey man. I don't know. They put Frank in the game, and Kyle Kuzma finished with 23.
A little too much.
Yeah, but that's the defense. That's the ice pick and roll creates that situation. It's in that defense, Tibbs wants RJ to have a hand on Anthony Davis.
You know what? RJ's not good on defense in rotations.
He's a good on-ball defender, I think.
On ball, yeah, he can.
Right,
but when he has the ball already, he can stick you.
Yeah, he gets lost in help.
And stuff
he
like
does.
That. That's when he gets cooked a lot.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
And so what I'm saying is team defense is something that can be taught. It just takes time, right? RJ Barrett, because if you remember the Clippers game, man, Paul George could not get by RJ Barrett.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And RJ was doing a good job on Kawhi as well.
And Kawhi also. But it's just when you got Anthony Davis in the post, RJ Barrett has to be arm length on Anthony Davis and then scramble out to the corner for Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, and then what they do is Kuzma will show that he's gonna shoot the jumper right before and then take off to the basket. Yeah. And the point guard already know they're already queued up. They throw the backdoor skip pass to Kuzma at the basket, and they make it look like RJ Barrett was just standing there with his thumb up, but he wasn't. But he wasn't
trying to play defense. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't. People get backdoored all the time. Anytime you get odd man on the weak side, you susceptible to the corner three or the back door. It just happens. It's something you got to live with. Mm-hmm. You know, people say, "Well, RJ Barrett get backdoored." Well, would you rather him give up the corner three?
I mean, that's like the three. That's like mostly how all teams score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That and off the pick and roll, you know.
Yep.
That corner three or a backdoor off a slash.
Right.
Your number one guy, you know, creating a shot for himself.
Right.
That's like before, you know.
Right. And so even in this game that the Knicks lost to the Lakers, this was not even Julius Randle's fault, because the Lakers, if you remember, the Knicks had a lead going into the Knicks had a lead with a minute and 30 left to go in the game. And then our guards, the veterans didn't do that. Yeah. And so Wesley Matthews got a tip in at the buzzer because Derrick Rose didn't box out. Right? Because you remember the shot was off. They missed the shot. The Lakers missed the shot. And Derrick Rose was just standing there with his hand up his butt. He didn't box out nobody. And Wesley Matthews came in and tipped the basket in. Now we go to overtime.
But, and this is why we go into overtime, because Julius Randle takes a terrible shot too.
Talk about the
The shot the move he made was cool, but the shot attempt was terrible.
What about?
And that's why I'm scared to pay him all this money.
What about Reggie Bullock missing a 10-foot jumper wide open?
He's cost us so many games.
but hey, D, you remember that? Yeah. Reggie Bullock had a 10 wide open.
Too close.
He could have drove it to the basket and laid it in. But he stopped and took a 10-foot jumper.
Don't get me started on Reggie Bullock, bro.
That's what I'm telling you is when Knicks fans be like, Tibbs ain't going into the regular season with no 3 rookies, bro. You telling me you would rather have Reggie Bullock over BJ Boston, over Josh Christopher?
I'll take the hot dog man over freaking Reggie Bullock.
Right, I'm a not draft Josh Christopher because I want Reggie Bullock.
Of course.
So some of this stuff that we be saying, bro, it don't make sense, man. Like we go legit say, well, no, Josh, I don't want a Josh Christopher when I could just keep Reggie Bullock or somebody like him.
That's why I said a Julius Randle type player is kind of hard to build around, because you need a Reggie Bullock type player on the floor. I mean, you need somebody better than him, but you know what I mean, though. You need somebody who can kind of space the floor, stand in the corner, and shoot threes for you, because of the way Julius Randle plays.
So now, Devon, how do we get that? Do we get that through the draft? Do we get that through free agency? Do we wait till next year? Do we wait for a development of quickly? That's the big question.
That's why. I go through the draft. I feel like the best way for us to go through is to the draft.
Which I agree.
What do we have? Like 8 like 9 picks in the next 2 years or something like that, 3 years or something like that.
No.
I mean, we get 9 chances, we get 9 crapshoots at trying to find some good players, and we can find some.
And we still have youth to develop.
That's fits the role better that we already have. Somebody that's better than somebody that we already have on the team. So.
Right.
I mean, I don't feel like we should be trying to spend a bunch of money, because I feel like our core should be our young players that we're going to have to pay eventually.
Right.
With that.
Right. I feel you. So here's the other thing, because I asked y'all if y'all felt like Tibbs would be okay with a situation like Sharif Cooper and Trey Mann, because at 19 and 21, I would go Trey Mann first.
I see what you're saying. It's a crapshoot anyway, so
right. I would go Trey Mann first, and then if Sharif Cooper is still there at 21, even though I love Trey Murphy III, I think I might be inclined to take Sharif Cooper, but I love Trey Murphy.
I just feel like those two guys are more role player, well, not role players, but solid piece. I feel like Sharif Cooper got a little star potential.
A star, and I do too.
I feel like
I think the Garden would love him, bro.
Yeah, I feel like Sharif Cooper got a little something. He got something else. I don't know, like you said, something that it's something that you just see in certain players. Like I don't know.
Especially he's got that NYC transition game where like he'll just dribble and spit on you in the middle of the court and throw an alley from half court. Like he does stuff like that.
Right.
I just feel like he one of those players that, like a Donovan Mitchell, that we gonna be mad that we had a chance to pick him and we didn't. Like even if we get a good player, I feel like he still has the potential of being a better player overall than the player that we might pick.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like we did go back and look at it again, he might, but the other player might fit the team now, better a little bit.
Right. I'm just saying, based on the conversation that we had, it got a little testy in here. I was like, wow, look at these cats. These cats is fighting for their point. Right? You know what I'm saying? But based on the conversation we had, I think.
Oh, you talking about before?
No, I'm talking about, I'm talking about on this live stream here.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I think Trey Mann is the better immediate fit because he brings shooting from the perimeter instantly. So if the team as the team is currently constituted, I think Trey Mann had 3-point shooting for himself and others. But if we're talking about rebuilding, if we're talking about evolving where the point guard has more control, then I think Sharif Cooper is a better option, because the thing is if you draft Sharif Cooper and the offense is still the same, can Sharif Cooper score enough from the outside to have an impact? I don't think so right away.
But he can get to the basket and he can score better at the basket than outside.
Yo, and he has a mid-range. Like he's efficient at the mid-range.
Right.
All y'all care about, can he shoot threes? No, he can shoot mid-ranges.
No, what I'm saying, I'm saying.
I'm not saying you, Freezy.
I'm saying at 19, who do you take? I would take Trey Mann just because the immediate.
I like Trey Mann.
I like Trey Mann too, though.
Yeah,
just
Trey
his
Mann.
size. I like the size. Just pause. Period. Like.
Oh, pause. Yeah, what?
I said pause. Relax, yo.
Nah, I know. I thought you was like size.
Come on, man.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
I like Trey Mann too, though.
I wouldn't mind Trey Mann.
Yeah. Those would be my 2 point guards that I would be looking at. One or the other. I wouldn't be. I definitely would prefer Cooper though, but.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I'm at.
Would y'all trade for a second-year bench point guard from another team?
Like Kobe White?
No, I'm talking about second year. Well, yeah, him too. I'll include him.
Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Would y'all trade for?
White. You know what? I like Kobe White.
Like 6'5".
Would y'all? What about Killian Hayes?
I like Killian Hayes.
I'll take Killian.
What about the dude from Auburn last year?
Isaac Okoro?
Oh no, Alabama last year. Kira Lewis.
I like it.
I would rather take a point guard in our draft over him because we would have him for having, and we would just outright get him.
Right.
But Josh Hart from him.
Right. Hey, so Andre Bryant says that Killian Hayes is not a PG. I think as far as Kobe White goes, I think I might agree. He's more like Colin Sexton in the thing that he looks for a shot first. He's fast, getting to the basket.
But I feel like he fits what we need.
But Killian Hayes, who I thought was a softie, he wound up being pretty tough. That dude, his defense, his defense was a lot. Killian Hayes might be a lockdown defender at the point guard position. And I know it sounds crazy right now.
I was just watching some film on him. He's nice.
Yeah. Because remember, he got hurt in the game against us. Nerlens Noel set a screen, and both of them got hurt on it. You seen both of them laying on the floor. He like, that's the suck. That's like a cheerleader fight. You know what I'm saying? You saw them collide. I was like, man, they hitting each other with pom poms. That's what I thought when I first saw it. But the thing with Killian Hayes is when he came back from that shoulder injury, he was a tough defender. I think Detroit kind of like him. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell y'all this. So I got cousins that live in Detroit. Like shout out to Jason and all them cats, man. They love the Pistons, man. You know what I'm saying? But they think if they draft Cade, they making the playoffs.
It's possible.
And guess what their reason is? Guess what their logic is?
Wow. What? I don't
guess what their logic is. Take a wild guess what their logic is.
What is it?
The Knicks did it. That's their logic.
Damn.
The Knicks did it. The Knicks turned around in 1 year. Why not us? Just like that.
Oh, so let's go back to the Sharif Cooper for a minute.
Can't blame.
He's 1 or 2 3-pointers a game away from averaging putting up better numbers than Cade.
Yeah, he ain't Cade though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The height. I'm just saying, just because if Sharif Cooper was 6'8", though.
But he's not.
You feel me? He'd be talking about, going that high. That was.
I just find it amazing that he averaged 20-8 at 6 feet in only 12 games, coming in the middle of the season.
Right.
That's what really caught my attention.
Right, and so I think the dude can be in that Chris Paul player profile, like a dude with the dude has got a cage fighter's heart,
right,
and a 6 foot body,
right.
You know what I'm saying? The dude has got heart. You don't get to the free throw line 8 times at 170, 180 pounds in the SEC, bro. They murder you going to the basket. Right. And the dude kept going and kept going and kept going to the point where teams want to give up. They're like, yo, this dude, no matter how much we beat him up, he keep on coming. Do the Knicks need something like that? I say yes, but
what would you
grade
give
his
up for
defense?
Kobe White or Killian Hayes, Uncle Freezy? Or the panel, anybody?
Say that again?
What would you give up for a Kobe White or a Killian Hayes? Either or of those point guards.
I don't really like him, so I wouldn't even think about it.
I like his 3-point potential. Why does and here's the other question too. Why does Kobe White look like Reggie Miller against us and then look like Robert Miller against everybody else?
That's
y'all ever notice that?
That's just how there's certain teams you're gonna perform well against, and we're just one of them. Honestly.
Yeah.
How do you guys think Sharif Cooper is on defense? Because I'm thinking about him against like a Trae Young or like a Kyrie, And I want to know if you guys think like he can hold his own, like maybe eventually, potentially against those guys.
Because he might not be able to right away, but I think he got the heart. He's not gonna want to get cooked.
I mean, he's a strong frame too, and he's very fast on his feet. I mean? So
at the end of the day, I think his pride. I think he got that much pride in him.
His issue, right? His issue would be a dude shooting over him early. Right. Would be his issue.
Yeah.
Right.
But it wouldn't be dudes just dancing around with him.
So.
Yeah. It would be the stuff that at 6 feet you just can't.
Yeah.
I would say
Davion Mitchell's right. You know.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Nah, I was just gonna compare him to Davion Mitchell. I'm saying Mitchell's small, but he's ready to go on defense. Like you could leave him out there and not worry.
Well, he shut down Cade.
Yeah, and for one, Davion Mitchell is not small. He's short. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's short.
Big dude.
Yeah. Davion Mitchell is not a small dude like Sharif Cooper. Sharif Cooper is small, right? I mean, when they stand side by side, you think that Davion Mitchell was 8 foot taller than him. You know what I'm saying? But they're the same height. You know, the one dude just weighed 25 pounds more than the other. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I would say is this: in terms of Sharif Cooper's defense, I think his heart will always be there in defense. Yeah, I think you just got to bring up his
technique,
technique and defensive IQ, right? That's what I would think. The willingness is always going to be there for a cat like that.
Yeah, somebody like Chris Paul. He's a great defender. Don't get me wrong, but he just knows the angles. You know what I mean? He
knows where the person's gonna be before they're even there.
Right.
Yeah, that's why he's looking. That's why he be sticking certain people. Like, how is he sticking him? Like, like even in the post. Like, because he got a little frame to him, he's a dog, right. So it's kind of like, how is he? It's his technique. He knows his IQ, So
we didn't beat on this too much today, and because the point guard issue was a big topic, and for reasons that it has to be. But where do we go from the three? Because I think our consensus is Trey Murphy the third. But is there anybody else that could possibly also fit in that as well, or be okay? Go ahead, let's hear it.
I'm gonna say Zaire Williams and Trey Murphy, and then you back them up with Derrick Jones and a cat like Gerald Green, like I mentioned.
No, but I'm talking about the draft though. I'm talking about amongst the other small forwards.
No, you ain't heard me. You ain't heard me there. I said
I heard Zaire Williams. That's it. Those are the only small forwards.
No, that's not what I said. I said Trey Murphy. I said Zaire Williams and Trey Murphy.
Okay.
Right, and then you back them up with Derrick Jones and Gerald Green. That's what I said.
No, Freezy, you're not understanding my question. I'm saying that in the draft, forget about Gerald Green and Derrick Jones Jr. I say in the draft, besides Trey Murphy and your Zaire Williams, is there any other prospects at that small forward spot that catch your attention? That's what I asked.
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying at 19. So my mock. So I did a mock draft for the Knicks, right? And at 19, I took Trey Mann, right? I'm sorry. I took at 19. I took the kid from Texas, Kai Jones, right? And at 21, I took.
Trey Murphy Knicks took Kai Jones.
Yes, that's what I did in the mock. This was about a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Before the NBA Combine and all that stuff.
Got it.
So the Knicks take Kai Jones, a super freak athlete that can catch a basketball. Imagine that, right? Mm-hmm. So Kai Jones at 19. Trey Murphy the third at 21, at 32. It took Trey Mann, but this is before all three of those dudes start skyrocketing up draft boards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, so Trey Mann at 32. That's a steal.
Yeah, but all the mocks that I saw before that had Trey Mann somewhere between 34 and 40.
Okay,
right. And so at 32, I felt like, we can grab him. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even though I like BJ Boston and Josh Christopher.
BJ Boston at 32 is, that's value for your book right there.
Right. Hey, Frederick. So I said Gerald Green because if you get two rookie swingmen, right, If you get two rookie small forwards, you got to bring in a veteran that's battle tested. Even if he starts over them initially and then recedes to the bench.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? No. Derek Jones, yes.
I would pick up Danny Green. I don't know about Gerald Green.
Oh, Danny Green is done.
The only reason why I didn't say Danny Green is because for some reason he always commands a lot of money.
He got those championships.
Yeah. Every time you see Danny Green sign with somebody, his agent must be Leon Rose or somebody, because he signs like those 1 year, $15 million deals. And you're like, this dude can't even dribble.
Nope. He's a great locker room guy. He plays great defense. He's first to floor. Like, whatever, bro. So let me ask you a question, Freezy. So say, for example, Jalen Johnson drops, right? Do you pick him or Trey Murphy III?
I would still try to get both. I do Jalen Johnson first.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and you have to pick between one of them. So you go with Jalen first.
Yeah, at 19, I got to go with Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
At 19, I got to go Jalen Johnson because the draftability of those guys, right? Like, so for instance, I don't know if the Atlanta Hawks will pass up on Jalen Johnson at 20, right? But Trey Murphy at 20, they might pass him up. You know what I'm saying? And so
should we pass him up at 19 if he's there?
No, I don't think so. Because the cat has generational talent that if harnessed, he can be something special. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want to be in 2 years when we back on here. We don't want to be like, Jalen Johnson made all rookie NBA first team, and y'all like, man, we should have took Jalen Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I want to have that conversation, bro. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Sharif Cooper. I don't want to have this conversation in 2 years. Like, maybe we could trade for Sharif Cooper. I don't want to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I would take Sharif at all, man. No, hands down, no doubt about it.
Yeah, man. And so the reason why I like Kai Jones is because he's an expert at catching the ball in traffic. And he's an elite athlete. And he wants to throw that ball down your throat like Barkley, like Chuck D say. You know what I'm saying? It's one, and the dude is still young and raw. He's the exact type energy big that we need off the bench, him and Isaiah Jackson. You know what I mean? Now at 19,
he's very raw though. Very raw.
He's very raw and footwork and footwork and stuff. Like, he'll do the pick and roll, and a point guard goes one way, and Kai Jones's body will be turned another way, which means he's got to contort in the air to catch a lob or something like that. That stuff like that with Tibbs, with Johnny Bryant and Kenny Payne.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from Kentucky.
Cool, Kai Jones?
No. The other kid, Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like Isaiah a little bit better than Kai.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I would even flirt with JT Thor a bit because he's got a lot of potential. That guy, but he's like, him and Kai Jones are very similar, where they have a very high ceiling, but could be very bustable too.
Right. My only thing with JT Thor is I saw his games at the NBA Combine, and he looks soft to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing with JT Thor. Like, JT Thor, in my mind, I think he thinks he's a shooting guard, small forward, and in a power forward's body, in a center's body.
So do you think we draft for a player now or a player for the future?
It's gonna have to be a happy balance.
Yeah, I feel the same way too.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be happy.
I feel like the shot at 21, you might try to hit a home run on.
You know who was a big that shocked me in the combine? McCall Maker really surprised me, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think his footwork was that furnished, bro. I was like, wow.
Right.
His stamina sucks.
He just don't have experience, man. He don't have no experience. because he went to Howard and they only played 2 games.
Yeah, but when he was there in that combine, it looked like he belonged. Like it was right.
Yeah, he looked solid in the combine. I watched that game a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, hey, so David Parker. What I'm saying is guys like Gerald Green. I'm not saying they're a dime a dozen, but what I am saying is somebody in that player profile, like 6'6", 6'7", superior athlete that can play multiple positions and is a pro. Like they're ready to play when their number's called. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Gerald Green per se, or Derek Jones per se. What I'm saying is those guys that are ideally like a perfect situation for me. I think if we get into win now mode or the playoff push is certain.
We're taking Chris Duarte if that's the signs.
Right.
Yeah, he's ready
right.
now. He's ready now.
Yeah.
Right. My only the thing I'm saying that though is if we go down that road, I think the perfect fit for us would be Robert Covington. You know what I'm saying? A Robert Covington type player. He'd be on a one year deal for $18 million, right? You draft your Chris Duarte or your Zaire Williams or your Trey Murphy III, right? Because ideally you would want your Trey Murphy to be a better version of what Robert Covington is because they have the same type of, very good athlete, decent shooter when open, don't take a lot of shots, impact the game without the basketball on offense and defense. That's what you would want Trey Murphy to be, ideally, because you already have Randall and RJ and Sharif Cooper. So you would want a guy that's impactful on offense and defense without having to be on the ball defensively, still impact the game.
And he can put the ball on the floor too. Right.
And the thing with Robert Covington is so for I'm gonna break this down real quick. So what I'm getting at is Robert Covington can defend off the ball without having lapses, right? Like he's the dude that can play passing lanes that deters point guards and others from passing the ball in his direction. So he may not get the steal, but he also stops the pass, right? Gets the player to hold the ball and maybe go to another option, keep cycling through offense, and then on offense, he'll knock down the three and he'll dunk. And that's what you need. See, because if Reggie Bullock could knock down the three and dunk, then we'd be having a different conversation. But Reggie Bullock could knock down the three occasionally, but he definitely ain't going to the basket and dunking on nobody. Y'all know it. When's the last time y'all saw Reggie Bullock catch a lob?
Probably since high school.
Right.
Probably never.
Probably never. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Those are the small things that we don't notice. That or not. I'm not, because y'all are smart basketball heads. And so what I'm saying is not that we don't notice, that we don't talk about, like the explosiveness of Reggie Bullock. We like, like how many explosive athletes do the Knicks have on the roster right now?
I think Peyton's more
Obi Toppin.
and Mitch.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's the reason why Tibbs is saying we need wing players.
Yeah.
It's the reason why Tibbs is emphasizing that, because we can't get easy baskets.
No,
people think it's just the offense. It's not just the offense. It's if you had
player personnel.
Reggie Bullock not being able to go up for a layup on a fast break and traveling,
bro. He carried. I thought he was Todd Gurley, bro. I thought he was man. You want to break by yourself and you just gonna tuck the ball under your arm and just take like 19 steps? You Todd Gurley? Bro, what you Ezekiel Elliott, bro? What's happening, bro? I got too excited. Yeah, that's I know sometimes we get caught up in the moment, man. But bro, come on, you just gonna tuck it under your arm and come on, man.
Yeah, he bummed it right there.
Bro, it's crazy. You Christian McCaffrey, bro?
Dude, listen, the upgrade is real, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then to not only to do it once, but do it twice in a week and a half stretch.
Yeah, I know.
Man. Bro, come on, man. You Alvin Kamara? Come on.
Yeah, he was.
Come on. So even with that said, let me ask y'all this, right? Because I was asked about the small forward position and the point guard position. We only have 4 picks, and ideally, and my thinking is we need 2 young point guards and we need 2 young small forwards. But if we go that route, that means we won't get 2 young centers.
Got to get a combo.
Yeah. So what do y'all feel like is the answer? Do we go out and is it worth going Trey Murphy and Isaiah Jackson, knowing that we may not be able to get Trey Man?
I feel like you got to take the point guard. That's
unless like you're sure you're gonna get someone in free agency. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you're sure you're gonna get like a Lowry or like
somebody that you know
Mondo
you're
or whoever.
play. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then okay, you can do that. But like, if you get like a Schroeder or like, then like they'll probably draft the Trey Man behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what's your ideal situation? So point guard, y'all would like to do Trey Man and Sharif Cooper and then not do a wing player, is what I'm getting at, is what I'm gathering.
No, not at all. I think we have to address our needs first within the playmaking aspect and the small forward position.
I feel like you can find a wing that can fill that role.
Derrick Jones.
Not Derrick.
Robert Covington.
Covington, like a Robert Covington. Like I don't mind paying Covington
that 1 year, $18 million. That's what he has left on his contract.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he can do for. I think you gotta take your shots at finding the point guard that actually fits.
Well, I would say this. I think Damian Lillard getting traded benefits the Knicks, whether it's to New York or not. Because Damian Lillard getting traded away from Portland means they have to blow it up on the spot, right? Yep. That makes guys like Robert Covington cheaper for us. Like we could offer, we could offer them.
50.
So,
take on this contract. Go ahead. Take on this contract.
Yeah, there's a few teams that might blow up. I think like Indiana and Toronto. They're like on the fence, blow up, or because Siakam, they're saying Siakam might go to the Warriors, so they might just do away with the whole team, maybe.
Yeah, I know. Too. Right. I think Toronto is in a weird space where they're trying to figure out what to do with their backcourt. Well, question number 1 is, do we bring Kyle Lowry back?
Nope.
Right. And then question number 2 is, who is really the point guard? Is it Van Vliet or is it Malachi Flynn, who is turning out to be a baller?
Flynn. He's a baller from school.
Yeah. Because Malachi Flynn showed them some flashes last year. You like, I know we paid Fred Van Vliet this money, but Malachi Flynn is serious business. You know what I mean? It's the reason why the Celtics traded Kemba Walker, because they have a backup. They have a point guard named Peyton Pritchard.
I wouldn't mind picking up Van Vliet in something like that, like a deal like that, where it's kind of like where we just kind of like we didn't like force it too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it didn't look like we forced the trade, where but more like, oh, okay, they're doing something over there. Let's just go grab something,
Right.
Let's go poach one of their assets really quick. I wouldn't mind doing a deal like that.
Yeah, I feel you. What's good, Cully?
Salute, brothers. Salute, man.
Yeah. The Rock is in the building.
Salute. All I know is I watched the game last night. Why couldn't we draft Mikal Bridges, man? Just tell me why. Somebody tell me.
Yo, why? Did you, man? Hey, well,
No, not
why, man. Why he was on our radar at first. Him and Miles Bridges was on our radar. And why didn't we just draft one of them, man? Why?
Because Kevin Knox ate them up one-on-one in workouts. Destroyed them one-on-one in workouts. Destroyed them.
Now. I bet you after years of experience, of NBA experience, he wouldn't eat them up now.
Nah.
And I was going to say that with Toronto, who they pick is going to tell you where they're going. Because if they get Suggs, I can't see Kyle Lowry really fitting.
Right.
Yeah, I think
or Malachi Flynn.
Well, Malachi could be the backup.
The backup.
Nah, he's Fred.
Remember, they still got Gary Trent.
So, now if they get Scotty Barnes or something like that, now that's telling you something else now. So
they're gonna be nice. They might. I figured they would want to Evan Mobley. I thought they need a big.
Yeah, they need a big.
I don't think he'll get there.
Well, when
they'll probably get rid of Rodney Hood.
What number the Raptors? Oh, they got number 4.
4.
No, Evan Mobley won't make it to 4. He probably gonna be going around 2, 3, right before them.
Yeah. So the draft board is going to be interesting because I don't think it's going to be a situation where Detroit picks first. I think Detroit is going to take that pick and trade it to some fool like Cleveland and get the whole kit and caboodle. Because Cade is generational, but that means you can get a generational package in return. You can get a Paul George type package for Cade Cunningham.
The Knicks already interviewed some guys?
Yeah,
they do.
Do y'all know who? I don't know who.
We can tell you.
Who?
I'm sure we could tell you. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just want to know who.
I could see them give up sign and trade Sexton and Jared Allen, and maybe future second round picks. I don't know, something like that. Maybe for Cade. Maybe they might do that.
Okay. They interviewed Book Knight. Know that.
Book Knight. Okay.
Good thing.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't mind Book Knight.
Book Knight or Cooper. That's my name.
Why y'all want these 6'3" shooting guards? Don't y'all already have a 6'3" combo guard on the bench?
Yeah, I don't like Book Knight personally.
Combo guard on the bench.
Quickly.
6'1", man.
Scotty Barnes. They interviewed.
Knicks ain't gonna get no Scotty Barnes. I don't know why they interviewing him.
Well, just in case they package something, possibly. That's why.
Knicks don't trade all 4 guys. All 4.
I mean, I love Scotty Barnes, so I wouldn't really hate that too much.
I wouldn't. I kind of wouldn't hate that.
Jaden Springer.
I mean, I like Scotty Barnes too. I mean, I guess he good defender. So,
dude, he's a fantastic playmaker too.
I know he got handle. He's mobile. He's 6'9", 7.
And he's physically imposing. And he'll guard all 5 players and guard your point for 90 feet.
I guess you're right. I wouldn't mind. Only thing is he can't shoot, but I'll take him.
I bet Knox will give him 30.
I'll still.
Knox will give him 30.
They interviewed more than this.
Him and Kuminga, only guys I'd move up for, and I like Jalen Green too. That's the only guys.
You want to move up for Jalen Green?
I'll move up for Jalen Green. I'm saying those are the only guys I really like. Kuminga.
I would too.
John Kuminga, I like him, and I'm not too. I don't know. Those are the only guys I'd move up for. You know what I mean? I like Davion Mitchell too, but I'm not crazy about him. Why I'd move up? I'll take Book Knight over Mitchell right now.
Ooh, that's kind of a tough one.
I know it's tough. You know why? Because I'm looking at the size. I'm looking at 6'5". Okay. I'm looking at the size. That's why. Like Davion 6'2". I mean, Davion actually fits the Knicks. He's a better fit. No, actually, no. I can't say he was a better fit. Both of them are good fits. It's just. For what we need, I mean, we need defense. If you can make Book Knight a good defender, then we got a steal. We got ourselves a steal on our hands. He could already score. They
also interviewed Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll move up for him too. I'll move up for Jalen Johnson.
They also They also interviewed Zaire Williams.
I would take him. He's gonna fall. He's gonna fall in the teens. Yeah.
Scotty Barnes would be nice.
Scotty Barnes would be dope.
Oh, hell yeah.
That never even crossed my mind, but dang.
Yeah,
they also interviewed Jared Butler and Josh Christopher, Luka Garza, Troy Murphy, and that Varenz guy that me and Freezy would talk about earlier today.
I think you can get him. You may be able to get him at 58 though.
Luka
Blorange.
Probably get Luka Garza in the 50s. No.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Luka.
I wouldn't.
Somebody's gonna fall.
I want Trey Murphy the most. He's not gonna fall to 32, man. He's gonna fall sooner than his stock kind of going up, man. I don't know.
Yeah, his stock going up, man.
We have to get him. We have to get Trey Murphy at all costs, man. I'm sorry.
At all costs.
Unless we trade up for if we trade up for Scotty Barnes, we won't need a Trey Murphy. But I would still want it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. A guy like Trey Murphy that can do it all, and so the knock on him is he's not assertive enough on offense.
Yeah,
he doesn't look to be like his daily life is centered around being a complimentary player, and so that turns some people off. We want alphas, you know what I'm saying? Well, with us, we already got alphas. You know what I'm saying? We just need a guy to come in and be that Mikal Bridges for us, except bigger, stronger, faster, better shooter. You know what I'm saying? That's all we need. You know, I mean.
All right, yo, I gotta get to my day. It was nice chatting with y'all. I hope y'all stay peace. I hope y'all stay safe. I want y'all to have a great day.
You too, boss.
All right, boss. We're gonna be back in the morning too, man.
You know,
I'm gonna be back on in the morning, and we doing the Knicks at Night podcast tonight at 11:45.
Sounds gravy. All right, yo, y'all stay safe.
Hey, Cully, I got something I want to show you. Have you seen it?
Was it the Blorange Tears? I know what it is. It's the Blorange Tears. I saw it earlier. The black.
Heavyweight title.
I didn't get to hear what Freezy said, but yeah.
Nah, I like that Scotty Barnes. Man.
Nah, I guess I would take. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him and Jalen Johnson. I wouldn't mind. I guess Scotty Barnes is a little bit better than Jalen Johnson.
If we can keep one of the picks in the draft, at least 21.
If we can keep 21 and come back and get Trey Murphy, I'm good with that.
Yeah, if we can get
man.
Barnes and come back and get some.
Yeah, Trey Murphy or a guard. I don't think they're gonna get a guard in the draft. I feel like they just want wings.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Not only is this championship belt super heavy, you know what I'm saying? When I see cats with the belt, I be like, yo, these cats fronting with them light Toys R Us belts.
That's fine.
You know, them light Toys R Us belts. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, I'm the champ. I get this one, and I'm like, yo, this joint is like 3 pounds, and that don't sound like a lot, bro. Until I'm telling you, it's crazy. So we giving this to the Blorangetears Debate League champion.
Debate League.
Debate League. The Debate League.
When's this man? What's the info?
Hey, so I'm working on it this weekend. I'm gonna put it out there. I want to get the belt first, and then that way I can let people know that the Blorangetears Debate League champion is a real champion.
Yeah, I want that belt, man. Okay.
Look at that. Look at that. That you see that's gold plating.
That's tight.
That's gold plating right there. That's gold plating right there. That's real. You know what I'm saying? that leather, you see that leather strap, that's real. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what I'm saying is what I meant to get back to is
why you in here twice?
There it is. So I gotta rock me and Miss Mocha. We got a date for 3:00.
Let's do it.
So I gotta dress like an adult. I can't dress like a little kid.
I wish I came on sooner.
Yeah, man. So we gonna be. I'm gonna rock tomorrow morning. Knicks morning drive tomorrow. I usually don't do Saturdays, but I gotta do one. And then I'm also be on tonight for the Knicks at Night podcast. It's gonna be a full house. It's gonna be crazy.
All right, Uncle Freeze.
Right.
It's gonna be. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, bro. Hey, Keyshawn, I'm gonna try to start up this fantasy football league, bro.
I'm with it, man.
Yeah, I might try to start a channel. You know what I'm saying? So we can get on there and talk about how Alvin Kamara might have a breakout year this year without Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? And how Devontae Adams is going to be impacted by Aaron Rodgers not being in camp. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you need chemistry, bro. You need
Aaron Rodgers can hop off the couch and come through and win the NFC North. You good?
Nah, I'm saying not really, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Hey, Khalil Mack said he got something he want to give Aaron Rodgers. He want to deliver it in person. So anyway, I'm a dip. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Y'all have a good day, man. I'll holler at y'all tonight for the Knicks Tonight podcast, man.
All right, y'all. You gonna be on tonight?
Man.
Okay, I'll be on tonight, likely. I should be on tonight.
All right, word, bro. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
All right.
Gotta be easy.